What's up, y'all? It's your boy Niner Faithful. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Draft Day. It is finally here. We're going to have, I'll let Jason go ahead and talk about who we're going to have on, but we're going to have on a very special guest here in a few moments. Sorry about our little bit of lateness, a little bit of technical difficulties. But Jason, how you feeling today, bruh?
It's like Christmas, brother. It is finally here. After how long? Ever since we moved up to three, man, we have been excited. And I couldn't sleep last night. I couldn't pay attention at work. I'm ready to do this.
Yeah, definitely. It's a month and 3 days to be exact, but who's counting? Uh, no, it's definitely the way that. Hey, Kim, how you doing? Um,
Hi,
no,
Kim.
it's definitely
Merry draft
you
day.
know, Merry Draft Day, everybody. No, it's definitely been an interesting month and 3 days. We have Aaron Rodgers things to talk about today, and oh man,
We've
it's just
heard that before, but it picked up some serious steam today.
serious team, and let's go ahead and let's get into that. I'm not opposed to it. I mean, anytime you can pick up a quarterback for a potential, or let's not even say potential, a future Hall of Fame quarterback, and a quarterback that's coming off of an MVP's type of season, I'm never going to complain about it. Especially if a number three pick. Now, I know that they said there were some players involved, including Jimmy Garoppolo. I never exactly heard what players they are.
I don't think they've got it's gone that far, but to get Aaron
Yeah,
Rodgers, it would take at least a couple of extra players to along with it.
I'm thinking we're probably going to talk about, maybe a Fred Warner, maybe even a Javon Kinlaw. I'm not giving up Nick Bosa for Aaron Rodgers. No offense to Aaron, great quarterback and everything like that, but I'm not giving up a prime edge rusher, you know, coming into his prime. But,
5 years ago, I would have.
Javon Kinlaw, I would say I would trade Javon Kinlaw, Dre Greenlaw, and maybe Jimmy Ward. And number three, yeah, I'm definitely go ahead and but we have our special guest with us today. We're going to go ahead and bring him on right now. I'll let Jason go ahead and do the introduction.
Hey, what's up, Josh?
Hey,
You
what's
guys
going on, guys?
Josh. He does the amazing breakdowns week after week on his YouTube channel. So definitely check out his YouTube channel as well. And how's it going, my man?
It's going pretty good. I mean, man, is this a crazy day or what?
It's like Christmas, man.
Right?
Christmas in
I mean,
May.
Aaron Rodgers might be coming to the red and gold.
Oh, my
my
goodness.
Empire chapter, my Empire
I
chapter
remember
president went ahead and hit me up. She hit me
the only
up
problem
today and
with
was like,
bringing on A-Rod is that, yeah, we'd be good for, 3-4 years, and then we'd be in the same situation. But
Yeah.
we'd also be very good for those 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think Rodgers is a phenomenal talent, and we would definitely be able to make a run for, like you say, a maximum of 3 or 4 years. He's kind of a guy that's always unhappy, and he is 37 years old, and he maybe wants to go host a game show. So I don't really know if there's a lot of value in trading all those picks away again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially when you consider that we know Aaron Rodgers, like you said, Josh. Aaron Rodgers can get prickly, and everything. And let's not be real, he didn't have the world's greatest game in the NFC Championship game in 29. Now, I do believe that's somewhat of our D line, which possibly could have been one of the best team lines in team history, maybe even NFL history, for one season. But to me, I would be more taking the allegations aside, of course. I would do it in a heartbeat for, Deshaun Watson, but Aaron Rodgers, I mean, I'm not going to be mad, and it's more of a sure thing. But the thing about this pick is we're talking about a potentially a quarterback that could be in the red and gold. I mean, we're talking about somebody that can go on the 10-year wall, somebody who
Yeah.
has the potential. And so, while we have you on here, Josh, obviously the listeners have heard mine and Jason's takes a billion times on the quarterbacks. What are your takes about all three quarterbacks?
Well, all three quarterbacks will be phenomenal. And as a 49er fan, first and foremost, I will support whoever the 49ers decide to draft. I have faith and trust in Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. And even though Mac Jones wouldn't necessarily be my first choice, I think I've been kind of clear about that. Of course, I would support him, and he has the tools to probably come in and start right away. And I think Fields does as well. So I'd be thrilled with either one of those guys. And Trey Lance, he probably does need a little bit more time to sit and get seasoned up a little. But he definitely has the physical skill set. And from what people are saying, he has the best brain in the draft. So if I had to make a pick, that I would be leaning towards Trey Lance personally. But again, I'll support whatever the team decides, of course.
Team Trey Lance. Trade to the bank.
Oh, yeah.
I think my thing about Mac Jones is look, Mac Jones at 12 would have been phenomenal. The man's accurate, and I remember, of course, the three of us. Hold on, we're getting Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, you know what? We actually just talked about that, but no, I think that it's Mac Jones at 12 would have been fine. But when we had Wayne from Nitty Gritty Niners on, I said what I like about Trey Lance and Justin Fields. I'm team Justin Fields, by the way. Although I would not complain about Trey Lance, and I do believe he has the highest ceiling. My thing about Mac Jones is at 3, I want a quarterback that can. How many times have we seen it? How many times have we seen Russell Wilson? I remember, I believe it was the game-winning touchdown in the NFC Championship. Alden Smith had him sacked. He was going to be sacked, and he spinned away and he threw that touchdown. And how many times have we seen that? And we have an opportunity to get a player that could simply, there's just no defense for. I'm pretty sure, non-faithful said it all the time in the 80s and 90s with Steve Young, when it was just simply, hey, we had them stopped, and Steve could just do things that pretty much no quarterback at that time could do. And I feel that with Trey Lance and with Justin Fields, because we all believe Shanahan, he's going to get people open and all that, but what happens? What happens? And I was thinking about this morning, was when you have a quarterback that's not a mobile quarterback, even though I do believe that Mac Jones can move in the pocket enough, it's where their drop's going to be. And what you get is you get Chris Jones batting down passes in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And to me, it's when we look back at Super Bowl 54, everybody wants to point to the Emmanuel Sanders throw and everything, and myself included. I believe that if he hits that throw, we win the Super Bowl. But you're looking at the Kittle play. You're looking at the batted pass by Chris Jones. And to get Mac Jones, it almost seems like we didn't see any. We're getting the same thing. And it's, definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and expecting different results. Go back to the Super Bowl with Atlanta. You go back to the Super Bowl with Atlanta. If Matt Ryan can move out of the pocket and not get strip sacked, that game probably goes a little different. And so with me, it's Justin Fields. Although I would not, like I said, I'm not disappointed in Trey Lance. But I think when you talk about intangibles, and I think quarterback is one of those positions where the intangibles matter the most. Leadership. You're talking about a man that went to the Pac-10. And this ain't the WAC, or this ain't, some, North Dakota State or something. This is the Pac-10. This is a major, major football conference. And Justin Fields was the face of saying, hey, no, we want to play football. And coming from a quarterback, which, we all know I'm a Jimmy fan, but coming from a quarterback that, his love for football has been questioned. And to me, that you can't pass that up. When the man is the face of saying, no, during a pandemic where millions of people died, I want to play football. I want that quarterback behind center for my team. When you talk about the number one issue for Jimmy Garoppolo is staying on the field. I think we all can admit that. And when you have a quarterback that played with 6 broken ribs, I know our listeners are going to get disappointed a lot by me saying this again, but there's not many people on earth that could play through broken ribs like that.
That's right.
And to have somebody being able to do that and throw 3 touchdown passes after, I mean, I
Pretty good looking
just
ones too. And
yeah,
for
I
those of
just
us who were around in the 90s, we remember when Steve Young would break his ribs, and it was really a struggle for him. And
yeah.
you take a look at what Fields did in that game, and then you look at Garoppolo, and I'm not his doctor. I don't know anything about his medical condition, but
Yeah.
it sure did seem like he the bottom line is that he wasn't available, like you say. And to me, this also speaks a little bit to Mac Jones. When I see the videos
Yeah.
of him in the club, and when we hear about his character issues, for me personally, I want somebody as a self. I'm going to be selfish here as a fan, and I'm going to say I want somebody
Yeah.
that is totally and completely dedicated to football,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And to me, you are talking about a guy like Fields or a guy like Lance. Mac Jones, I don't really get that same vibe from him. Maybe that's unfair. I don't know the guy personally, but I tend to agree with you. I want somebody who is available on the field and is completely dedicated.
I think that the dad bod picture. And fine, hey, look at me. I'm no one to talk
That's
about a
right.
dad bod, but to me, you don't all of a sudden get into shape. You
Right.
don't all of a sudden, and I remember I believe it was Harold Landry that didn't go to the Senior Bowl. And I was like, why wouldn't you want to go to the Senior Bowl where the coaching staff that's picking at 2 is coaching? I'm questioning that. He gives me I'm glad you brought that up. He gives me a little Johnny Manziel vibe. Maybe
A
not
little
as
bit.
big as Johnny
Yeah.
Manziel and everything like that,
Right.
but I'm getting a little Johnny Manziel vibe. And let's be real. I'm not going to speak for you, Josh, but Jason and I believe in Lynchahan. I believe that they will bring us championships with the plural. I think that we saw in 2019 the formula works. We were the best team in football.
That's right.
We were the best team in football for all but 7 minutes of the fourth quarter in the Super Bowl. I mean, we're the best team in football. But his ass is on the line. Let's not get it twisted here. This doesn't work out. He will be fired. And I don't want that because who are we going to get that's better? I mean, I just don't think that we're going to
Right.
get a better coach than Kyle Shanahan. And so to me, I'm like you. Look, do I believe that Kyle Shanahan can get the most out of Mac Jones? Yes, I do believe that. I do believe that Kyle Shanahan, and like Bill Walsh said, I remember there's a story about Bill Walsh watching film with Ronnie Lott. And he was literally just looking at Joe's feet, and he said, "Oh my God, Ronnie, just look at his feet. Just look at his feet." And that's what we hear about Mac Jones, elite feet, elite feet. I've heard somebody say that, hey, if Bill Walsh was alive, Mac Jones would be the quarterback he would want.
Mm.
But to me, we're an organization that always is innovative. We think of Bill Walsh. Bill Walsh changed the game of football? Football is evolving. Your Tom Brady's, your Drew Breeses, your Ryan, your Matt Ryan. Those type of quarterbacks are going the way of the dodo. And I want the quarterback that can move. I want the quarterback that can be like Cap, kissing his bicep, running 181 yards against the Whackers in the NFC playoffs. And to me, it's when you talk about when the play breaks down, then what? And
Yeah.
I know it's a little bit of Shanahan's arrogance to be like, well, it's okay. We'll just get the 15-yard. Yeah, well, sometimes you don't. You thought it was okay when we didn't take the time out and we weren't aggressive in the second half of the Super Bowl. And I've had talked to many football minds that I trust that say, look, Niners didn't lose the Super Bowl when they threw it to Emmanuel Sanders. They lost the Super Bowl when they didn't go for it at the end of after the Kittle OPI.
Right.
And so to me, I think that it's if we had Justin Fields, if we had Trey Lance, if we had Patrick Mahomes, Shanahan calls that timeout. Shanahan is a lot more aggressive. And I think that is going – we just can't be here in another 3 years, 4 years. Oh, God, here we are begin picking another franchise
Absolutely.
quarterback. And it's
Yeah,
just so
I think Yeah, I'll jump in here. I think it really goes along right with what we were talking about with Aaron Rodgers, right? You know, we probably could trade for him. It seems like now, but again, you're only getting him for what, 2, maybe 3 years. This is a move that should set us up for the long term, for the future 10, 12, hell, maybe even 15 years if we're lucky. And when you look at it from that perspective, I agree with you. I think we want to see which way the league is trending towards these more athletic quarterbacks that have a greater skill set. And, you know, the intangibles almost used to be like a dirty word. It was sort of like a wink, wink, like, sure,
Yeah.
he can run the ball, but he can't read defenses or whatever. These guys are brilliant. They can read the defenses, they can run a pro style offense, and they have the intangibles. Why wouldn't you want a guy like that?
That
So
sounds
as
like a lot
somebody
like
who
Trey
breaks
Lance,
down
not the other
film,
guys.
yeah.
I mean, he's the
So
only
while you
one that
have you on here,
that actually
somebody who
ran it
breaks,
under center. You know, he's calling his
yes,
own
yes,
audibles, his own protections. You know, Fields, Wilson,
that's
everybody else. Nobody else out of this class is doing that but Lance.
yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up, Jason, because what we hear about is Justin Fields and the one read. Now, I think it's funny. I was listening to, I think it was Striking Gold yesterday, that they said Jimmy Garoppolo threw to his first read 80% of the time, and so as far as we hear with Justin Fields that he has a problem reading the defense, we hear that he has a problem going through his progressions and everything like that. In your opinion, what do you think is more easily teachable? Is accuracy and improving your accuracy, or learning how to process?
If you're asking me, that's a really tough one. I think with Fields, the offense that they ran at Ohio State was just sort of that way in nature. You know, very long developing
Mhm.
wide receiver option routes. He has to wait for the read to show and then make the read. So it might take him a year or two to adjust to Kyle Shanahan's system. Now, when we talk about the brain, right? Justin Fields scored the highest on this aptitude test that we all heard about. He's very smart. I have no doubt that he can learn the offense, but I don't know that it's necessarily, this is going to sound crazy, but even a requirement. You know, you take a look at
Yeah.
Russell Wilson, a guy who kicks our butt almost every year in the division. Just being honest, praise the Lord. He doesn't really read defenses. He's not good at breaking down complex coverages. Sometimes it
Yeah.
gets him into trouble. They lost that game against the New York Giants last year, for example, because he could not read the defenses. But overall, by and large, the man has a very large body of successful work in the NFL. And when I look at Justin Fields, I see Russell Wilson. Very similar type of thing. I'm not concerned about him making his progressions at all. Mac Jones and Trey Lance are going to be able to go through there in the pocket and make those progressions. And you mentioned Colin Kaepernick. He had the ability to score from anywhere on the field, take off and run. To me, the difference between these guys and Kaepernick is Kaepernick was kind of a make one read and go, you know, more of a run first type quarterback. These guys are pocket passers that will run
Yes.
if it's a design play or if they need to scramble, but they're not run first. So in my opinion, you're getting the best of both worlds if you take Justin Fields or Trey Lance.
Yeah, I definitely think that as we wrap up here with you, Josh, I know that you have some things that you have to get to and everything like that. I fully agree with you. And when I watched the very little, I don't really know what I'm looking at when I watch film, but the little film I watched, and JT O'Sullivan's breakdowns and things of that nature, I saw that same thing. And to me, I agree with you. The problem with Cap, I mean, I'll never forget Torrey Smith literally going like this in St. Louis, jumping up and down, because he was
Yeah.
wide open. And I think that's definitely, I think what's happening now is Cap's generation was more of the Cap was always used to being the strongest, the fastest. So you didn't have to worry about being accurate. He didn't have to worry about going through his progressions because he's like, hey, you're not helping. I'm faster than anybody on the field. Catch me if you can. Versus nowadays, as you're starting to see these athletes that normally would have been receivers, safeties, linebackers, running backs, as they're turning into quarterbacks, you're starting to see this, hey, my legs are an ability to move around, but I'm always looking to throw.
Correct.
And that to me even puts a linebacker as a linebacker. I'm looking, and if I know that the quarterback has the option of throwing it right over me as I'm progressing, then I'm going to stay back. But then that's going to allow him to gain the and it's just to me I have faith in Kyle Shanahan, offensive genius, all that, but I just believe that we just can't pass on. They got things you can't teach. You can't teach that speed. You can't teach that athleticism. You can't teach that toughness. I mean, obviously he's not going to do it in the NFL, but seeing Trey Lance run over linebackers, I mean, as somebody that played O-line very little in high school, I mean, that got me fired up. And you know what? I'm going to tell you, when I see my quarterback taking on a linebacker, I'm going to block my ass off. And I
Absolutely. And
think
remember,
a lot
Shanahan
of
said he likes guys that run angry.
yeah, and we all heard it from Jimmy that Jimmy always played better once he got hit.
Yeah,
And I think that it just boiling it down to Lancer Field. I mean, it can't be Mac Jones. And yes, I'll be upset. Yeah, I'll probably rip him an asshole and call Shanahan an arrogant bastard and all that type of stuff. But you know what? Hey, when it comes to August, I'm there for Mac Jones, because I think that what I
yeah,
think all the faithful are trying to express with, or at least us reasonable ones, is look, we will support our players. What do they always say? Support the name on the front of the jersey, not the back. Players come and go, but we remain,
that's right.
always remain forever faithful. But it's just, I can't pass up a quarterback. We passed up Patrick Mahomes. We passed up Deshaun Watson. And to me, I think what's not talked about a lot is we've seen the growing of Lynch and Hand right in front of our eyes. 2017, we'll admit it, wasn't that Kittle saves that draft. Kittle and DJ Jones saved that draft.
Yeah,
If we don't have Kittle and DJ Jones, it's a complete wash. But then McGlinchey, okay, you could sit Fred Warner, DJ Jones, even though he's no longer, DJ Reed, even though he's no longer on the team. And then 2019 is obviously, I would think, the biggest draft we've had so far. And, the jury's still out on 2020 draft. But I'm really curious. And to me, what will decide the Lynch and Hand era is, does Kyle Shanahan grow in his position? Because I think what's not talked a lot is this is his first time being a head coach, and this is John Lynch's first time being a general manager. I don't know about y'all, but your first year on the job, your first day on the job, you probably weren't as great at it as you are
of
now,
course.
a couple years later. And so to me, this is what I'm projecting with Shanahan is we're projecting the growth. And did you grow? Do you now see, hey, look, we can't have, Kirk Cousins was cool as a fourth rounder and in 2015 or whenever, or 2012, whenever the hell he was drafted. But, this is now 9 years later, and the NFL is changing. Or are you going to be your head in the sand and I'm Kyle Shanahan, I can scheme up anything, I can coach anything, and really the real quarterback of this team is me. We just have somebody, a robot underneath center. And so before we let you get out of here, Josh, go ahead and tell the people where they can find you on YouTube and all your social media and stuff like that.
If you just search for Josh Putnam on YouTube, you should find me pretty easily. I do full all 22 breakdowns of every 49er game to the best of my ability. I don't have an Instagram or a Twitter. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm thinking of getting a Twitter, but and everybody is welcome to add me on Facebook as well. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, good. Not to go ahead and cut you off, bro, but no, honestly, you've taught me so much. Watching your videos has taught me so much. I mean, I've been a faithful since, Joe hit JT on that 10-yard slant. And I mean, I've never been to X's and O's and, that type of person. I just kind of watch football long enough, but you have taught me so much, bruh. Honestly, please, all faithful, go subscribe to his YouTube channel. Even if you are a film junkie, you'll definitely learn something. Thank you so much for coming on, Josh. We'll definitely get you back soon.
Thank you, guys.
Go
Appreciate
Niners,
it.
bro.
Thanks,
Go Niners.
Go Niners. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got my boy Brian coming from 49ers media coverage coming here pretty quick. We'll go give him a couple minutes. But, great breakdowns by Josh. I think that we all pretty much saying the same thing. Anybody but Mac. So ABM. We're definitely ABM here. But Oh, it's just a very laid back day, very kickback day, and
29 minutes,
I
man.
wish we would have. 39. Definitely. I'm actually, you know what, gonna hit the guide real quick on the TV to go ahead and get it to the channel. But yeah, we definitely, man, it's a big day. So we all know about number 3 now. We don't know exactly what the schedule will be as far as going forward for the draft, but trading back up into the first round, I want Najee Harris. I think that I told Mama Debbie. By the way, thank you, Mama, for the hat and the hoodie. Um, I told her, I said, look, Najee
She got you
Harris.
looking good, brother.
We all know that. Thank you, thank you. Um, we all know that we can get anybody from the trap heap to play to play running back for this team, but Najee Harris is special. And talking about football being an 80% mental game. I don't know exactly if Najee Harris grew up a Niner fan. I know he's from the East Bay, and people from the East Bay tend to be Raider fans. But I mean,
But he's always in Niners gear, though.
motivation. We saw it with, well, yeah, but we saw it with Jason Verrett playing in the Bay when you're from the Bay. I mean, there's no place like this. There's no place like in the world. We're one of the most expensive places to live in the world, and there's good reason for it. It I just don't see any reason why he wouldn't be more motivated to come to the Bay. And having that running back like a Frank Gore, I'm not comparing Najee Harris to Frank Gore, but having a back like Frank Gore where it's just you're going to get that rock. You know that you got that breakaway speed. You can score from anywhere on the field, and to get that for 4 possibly 5 years if we trade back up in the first round and select him for 5 years on a rookie contract. Um, yes, please, and fine. If you want to tell me that we recycle him out in 4 or 5 years, when he gets to be a little bit too expensive, I'm perfectly okay with that. But I need me some Najee Harris in my life. What
I'm
about
not
you, Jason?
against trading back in the first round, but if we're going to do that, we have to get somebody that's going to be it's going to fill a position. If we trade back, like we need to get somebody like an Asante Samuels, J.C. Horn,
Yes,
something like that. I think if we're going to do that, it needs to be a cornerback. Or if you really want to push it, I mean, you get somebody to take to put on the line. You depending on if we trade back into say like the mid-teens, one of the 3 top linemen are going to be left there. Especially if Slater's still there, you got to take Slater because I think you would
definitely. Oh,
trust
matter of fact,
taking
it's so
something like
funny. So funny. We were speaking
coming
about
out.
Najee Harris, and they're doing a feature on him right now. Um,
Oh, I'm
but
watching the live where they're all coming out and standing on the stage right now. The guys that are at the actual draft.
Oh, okay. No, this one is the Bay Area coverage, so they're talking to
Oh,
him
okay. I'm watching the
about,
ESPN one.
obviously about growing up here in the Bay.
Gotcha,
But
gotcha.
no, I definitely agree with you. To me, this draft is about. We've clearly seen the plan for the offseason. The plan for the offseason is we can't rely on these players to keep getting injured. You saw that what we have, I believe it's something like 9 safeties on the roster right now. What does that tell you? What has been the number one most injured position in the Lynch era is probably, safety. So
I
hey, we
honestly
love
think we're going
Jaquan.
to draft one.
Yes, I look. You know where I stand. Anybody knows where I stand. I'm Troy Warner, baby. Let's get Troy Warner. Let's get the Bash Bros.
Oh,
Let's get
man.
the Bash Bros together. But to me, I think that what that is, and I know I said this on our last show last week, but I'm all about quality and not quantity this year. And so it's been almost 2 decades since we've selected a cornerback in the first or second round. I think it's about time to invest in the capital that it's going to take to get that stud. Jarrell Revis, Richard Sherman, even though he was a fifth rounder. You, I, I want best player available, and so if you tell me that we're gonna go get J.C. Horn or Samuel Jr., I'm all for that. To me, it's. I think that this is the draft that why we have Jason Verrett, why we have K1, all these type of players on 1 year contracts. I want to look at next year, 2
Yep.
years from now, even, and say thank God for the 2021 draft. Thank God that we got these players down the pike, and it's the old football adage, you know, um, the old football adage, you can never have enough, people to cover, especially in a passing coverage league. You can never have too many people to,
And even if we don't
cover the
draft
rock.
and push back up into the first per se, this is a deep
Hmm.
draft when it comes to safeties and cornerbacks. So I mean, you're talking
Exactly.
about you're probably going to have long-term starters back down into the fourth, fifth, even sixth round. Because both the guys from UCF, Goins and Robinson, probably not going to go in the first rounds, but they will be available probably late second, if not early. So I mean,
Well,
if that's a position we want to go for, it's there.
definitely, and I think that with all the quarterbacks that are going to be taken in the first round, that's obviously going to push some other positions further down the draft board.
Always does.
I'm all for the trade up and everything like that. We're not going to take 9 players, and I know that Candlestick Chronicles talked about this. And what's
Probably
beneficial for the
six.
team to select 9 players that are gonna, what, 4 of them are gonna make the roster, or select 3 players to say, hey, look, these are going to be studs that are going to contribute, to this football team day one. I'd rather take the 3, 4 studs that are going to contribute, day one, versus you know sitting around
I'd be surprised
and
with more than six.
yeah, or yeah, 6, 5. I would put it at 5. That's fine. But would
Hell,
you
there's no
rather
way we're
have a
taking nine. No way.
7, 4 to 5? I'm perfectly okay with that. I'm sorry. I'd rather have a stud linebacker or guard or corner or safety than a 7th round, you know,
We can always get those guys in.
linebacker that's going to only play special teams.
Yeah, we can always get those guys in UFAs after the draft. We
Yeah,
can backfill
exactly,
the roster.
exactly.
The top of the roster is okay, but
Even
we do need backfill.
yes, definitely. I think, and it's, look, running backs get injured. They're one of the very few positions that probably get hit the most during a game, and so I think that always adding a running back, always adding a receiver. I think that something that's not getting talked about quite enough this year is what's not getting talked about enough this year is that we it's just about getting quality. That's all I'm looking for is give me some quality. And what's not getting talked about enough is the absence of KB. When it's 3rd and 8, KB always seemed to get you 9. And I know that a lot of people, can brush it off and everything like that. No, hey, we can get a Kendrick Bourne in the draft, and he was, well, you know what? We knew. I knew that KB was going to come through in the clutch. I mean, let's not. I bring it up all the time, but let's not forget the New Orleans game. Let's not forget the New Orleans game. We don't win that game without KB. And so we need a receiver. Now, we've taken a receiver in every draft, so it wouldn't surprise me. We all know the age old Jason with the meme is my favorite meme that you shared during this time was the meme with that had Gru from Despicable Me, and it said trade to number 3, select a D line, that little meme and everything like that. And I was like,
Hey,
oh
come on!
god,
That
that's so funny
selecting a
because
top defensive lineman—that's the Niner way, baby.
yeah, that is the Niner way. And look, we all know we're gonna get a defensive lineman, and um, fine. I'm perfectly okay with that. They say one of the best ways to build a football team is through the trenches. And
He
so
does.
it, it's, look, we're going to pick a D lineman this year. I would not be opposed to a linebacker. I know that it's not necessarily a need, but if you can, look, we all know I love Big Play Dre and everything like that. But if you can upgrade from Big Play Dre, then I'm definitely not going to complain. All right, we got my boy here, Brian from Niners Coverage. Let's go ahead and bring him on. Uh, what's up, Brian? How you doing? Oh, here. Hold on. Um, you're muted. Okay, we can hear you. Brian, you there?
Hello.
There he
Yeah,
is.
okay, we can hear you, Brian. How you doing?
Good in yourself?
Legendary, brother. Legendary, legendary. Okay, so we have to ask, what jersey you rocking today? Is that the Kittle? Kittle corn.
No, it's an old jersey. Well,
Let
my
me see. Let
dad,
me see.
I don't know. So, it's a
Let me see.
Vernon
We got
Davis
the
one.
Vernon. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Hey, look, rocking number 85 in red, in a red 85 ain't ever do bad of a decision. But no, no,
It's a good number. It
Justin
goes for a
Fields,
couple places.
Trey Lance, exactly. Justin Fields, Trey Lance, Mac Jones. Your thoughts?
Well, today, obviously it's a draft, and this build up against, you know, moving up to three, and I feel like, for our long term answer, that we'll have to pick the more higher ceiling than the NFL, most ready, like Mac Jones. Um, Throughout the past years, we picked the most NFL ready guy, and as I
Yeah.
can see that, that hasn't really worked out, especially for a day one starter. So I think that if we pick Mac Jones, that will, have Jimmy Garoppolo traded to a place, and but if we get a person like Trey Lance, um, we'll have Jimmy Garoppolo stay for one. I mean, we'll have Jimmy Garoppolo for 1 year and have him compete, for a playoff run and see what happened this year.
I don't know
So
him, but
you're
we
on
just became very good
the you
friends. Team Trey to the Bay.
yeah. Traded. Jason's definitely a trade to the Bay type of man. So you don't believe Jimmy's gonna get traded?
No, I definitely hope not. Don't hope so. I feel like we brought back some key players, and um, we could have a really deep playoff run.
I think that what's I think if we keep Jimmy Garoppolo, I do believe it'll be Trey Lance. Trey Lance does need to sit for a year. Hell, probably all three of these quarterbacks would be beneficial from sitting from a year. I don't think it's I like to pull from Ryan. I like to pull a lot from Niner history. We here at Niner Faithful Radio love to dig into Niner history, and I bring it to the GOAT, the greatest lefty of all time, Steve Young. And we saw that him starting right away almost ruined his career with Tampa Bay. Now, I think that maybe had a lot to do with more that he was playing for Tampa Bay than him starting right away. But, you know, uh, Steve has maybe will never admit this to anybody, but I know people who know him that he has said, look, sitting behind Joe, of course you hate it, of course you want to play and all that type of stuff. But you know what? It did benefit him. And so I want to get this clear to any new listeners that are listening lately. I'm a huge Jimmy fan. Jimmy is our king. He will win us our sixth ring, and on that day, the faithful will sing, "Jimmy is king." I'm a big believer in Jimmy Garoppolo, and I have no problem with keeping both quarterbacks because I believe that you look, Joe Montana only won the NFL MVP twice. The
Yeah.
second time that he won it was the year that we traded for Steve Young. Is that a coincidence? I don't think so. Even Steve Young himself admitted, look, what Bill Walsh was doing was probably guaranteeing that he would get the best out of Joe Montana and he would get the best out of Steve Young. And guess what? He did. And the Niners won freaking, three more championships after, we traded for Steve Young. And so I think that keeping Jimmy isn't the issue. I think that Jimmy's health, and I do believe people say, "Oh, well, what if the rookie wants to? The rookie's going to want to play, and it's going to cause drama in the locker room." Hey, look, if Jimmy's as injury prone as everybody seems to think he is, then it won't matter because the rookie's going to get his chance anyway because Jimmy's going to be hurt. And I'm sorry that if Jimmy misses games this year and we start this rookie, whoever happens to be, Jimmy's not getting his job back. I'm sorry, you're
Yeah.
not. We're not going to bring the rookie in for a game and then put him back on the bench. We're not going to be doing all that. Jimmy misses games this year. Jimmy's gone.
Especially if he
Whether it be in
excels.
pass, exactly. Especially if it is Justin Fields. Now, me personally, I'm team Justin Fields. It is the intangibles for me that do it. It's the him being on the face, telling the Pac-10, "Hey, look, in a freaking pandemic, that's killing
Yeah.
millions of people. I'm not worried about my health. I'm not worried about safety. I'm worried about getting my black ass on that football field. And to me,
Yeah.
we've seen it during the Harbaugh era. We've seen it, with Charles Haley throughout this team's history. We have had some players that weren't 100% dedicated to football. And to me, I pull from the goat. I pull from Jerry. And my favorite quote of all time is, "Today I will do what others won't, so tomorrow I can do what others can't." And to me, Jerry didn't miss football games. Jerry was always on that football field. Jerry was running routes and working on his route running 2 weeks after the Super Bowl 29. Jerry Rice's worth ethic is insane. And to me, that points to Justin
Borderline
Fields.
psychotic.
I,
Psychotic. I mean, it's just, we don't want me to go down another Jerry Rice rant because we'll be here for another 12 hours. Because why Randy Moss can consider himself the GOAT, man, I think he needs to put down that crack pipe and turn on some YouTube highlights. But
yeah.
yeah, I, I agree with basically both of y'all. I'm not gonna be anti Trey Lance. I do believe he has the highest ceiling, but also the
Mhm.
lowest floor. I don't believe he'll be a bust just simply because you can't be that athletic. And look, he can throw the football. He can hit open receivers.
He's one of
And
the
so,
best deep thought. He's one of the best deep
yeah,
beat.
He's very
deep
underrated
ball.
when it comes to his deep ball.
Yeah,
yeah,
and
it definitely is. And to me, I think worst comes to worst, Trey Lance is Colin Kaepernick. And yeah, while we all have had our issues with Cap, and I've said it before when we had Josh, him waving down Torrey Smith waving him down, jumping up and down. We all seem to remember him kissing his bicep all the way to a 4th and goal from the 3 yard line in the Super Bowl. So I'm okay with a quarterback where we could sacrifice maybe a little bit of accuracy. Maybe he's not going to be Mac Jones and be the best processor or whatever like that. But I'm okay with the man that can run around because you can gain yards with your feet. I'm perfectly okay with that. So
yeah,
I think that we all can just agree that it can't be Mac Jones. I'm sorry. I'm kind of this show is almost like a little bit of a therapy because it was funny after that. I don't know if you listened to the press conference, Brian, but the first time I listened to the John Lynch Kyle Shanahan press conference this week, I messaged our Niner Faithful radio chat and I said, "It's Lance." I walked away from that press conference thinking it was Lance. And then when I went back and re-listened to it for the 15th time, I walked away saying, you know what? He was awfully defensive about, if you can get somebody at 12, you should be happy getting them at 3. And then I said, you know what? I've been trying to talk myself out of it, but it sounded like Mac Jones. My only hope is that the Niners don't leak. And so my only hopes is all this Niners to the Mac Jones to the Niners was hey, they might not take Nick Bosa in 2019. It was the whole, hey, it might do Jamal Adams in 2017. So
yeah.
my only hope is that Kyle Shanahan's fooling everybody. But
Yeah.
when you do see it from Schefter and Ian Rappaport and Chris Sims, because I don't care what Chris Sims or Kyle Shanahan says, but you don't think that they've given drunken texts. You don't think Kyle Shanahan's ever let something slip, after a few too many beers out with him? Come on, bro. Chris Sims knows who the quarterback is. He might
Yeah,
have been told, hey, don't tell anybody. He might have. I don't think that they've told him we're taking this, but I do believe he knows who Kyle likes. And I do
especially
believe. Go
they
ahead.
have a really close relationship, Chris Sims and
They got each
Kyle
other's
Shanahan.
initials tattooed on their legs. I mean, I
Yeah,
love my best friend, but I'm not getting his initials tattooed on my leg. Maybe a little RIP tattoo, but I'm definitely not getting his initials, AB
yeah,
tatted on my thigh.
yeah.
But I think that it's look. Can we win a Super Bowl with Mac Jones? Yes, I believe so. I believe we can win a Super Bowl with Mac Jones. But I didn't get a chance to talk to Josh with this. But to me, when you're in the NFC West, which I believe that we probably all agree that's the best division in football, from top to bottom, you got Kyler Murray, you got Russell Wilson, you even got Jared Goff when they had Jared Goff. we're the mobile quarterback division. And while I agree that I'm a Jimmy Garoppolo fan, Jimmy Garoppolo is the worst quarterback in the division.
Yeah, you
Third
can't
to
win.
fourth. I won't quite put Kyler Murray above him, but I'll put him above as far as potential. I do believe Kyler Murray will be a better quarterback than Jimmy Garoppolo a year, 2 years down the line. But as of right now, he's the third to fourth quarterback in the division. You can't consistently win division championships. This team has never won a Super Bowl without winning the division. Winning it starts with winning the division, and you cannot win the division consistently with the fourth best quarterback. And I'm sorry, that doesn't change with Mac Jones. I don't care if it's year 10. Mac Jones is not going to be the best quarterback in this division as long as this division has Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson in it. But if you get Trey Lance or Justin Fields, I believe that fine. If you say Justin Fields and Trey Lance aren't going to be Russell Wilson's bitch ass, yes, I called Russell Wilson a bitch ass because I always will fuck that nigga. Anyway, sorry, I hate. Anyway, I know, Jason. I know. We don't need to get me on a Russell Wilson bitch ass rant. But fine. I'm okay with the second best quarterback. I believe that we can win the division with the second best quarterback. Because let's be real, Seattle's garbage. All right, they have no business being a playoff team, and Russell Wilson drags that team to the playoffs every year. If you get Kyle Shanahan, the second best division quarterback in the division, I'm sorry. We're get ready for the parade down Market Street. Dress
Yeah,
warm because it gets pretty chilly in San Francisco.
look all the stuff he
But
did with his
yeah, so
backups.
going forward to the rest of the draft, while we have you on here, beyond quarterback, what are you feeling about as far as team needs besides quarterback?
Definitely our secondary. Um, well, our free agency, they all left, and I'm really interested because Kyle and John do a good job beyond the second draft pick. So look how we got George Kittle, Fred Warner, and you know, I
Big
think
play, Dre.
it was really good uh trade because I know they're as the record for the first round draft pick, we had drafted Solomon Thomas and Reuben Foster that has not panned out well.
No.
But maybe Reuben Foster wasn't their fault, kind of, because of the off field issues.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's definitely like kind of concern the first rounds, but maybe after their third, fourth round picks, they could focus on stacking up their offense even more, like how Tampa Bay and the Cardinals are doing, beyond their first slots receivers.
Yeah, definitely. I think that a slot is definitely a concern. We were just talking about before how the loss of KB.
T, I'll be right back.
For
I want to
people
do something
who,
before the draft starts. We got like
yeah, of
5 minutes.
course, brother, go ahead and take care of it. Um, so we had talked about the loss of KB. I think you're muted, Brian, but we had talked about the loss of KB before, and I agree with you. Slot receiver is definitely, yeah, you could put Debo there. We are very good at selecting receivers that can play all over the field. But to get me a Julian Edelman, to get me a Wes Welker, I think it's kind of funny that we've we have him on the team, but we can't seem to find a Wes Welker. We all know how Trent Taylor was supposed to be the second coming, but that his injuries had derailed him. But I agree with you. What would you think about drafting a running back? I know that seems to be not the team philosophy and everything, but I think this might be a good year to get us a 3 down bell cow, Frank Gore, if you will.
Yeah. Actually, I'm really high on Jermichael Hasty. He was
Mm-hmm.
he came out later on the season when we had all the injuries. He might be the third running back. He might be a no guy on the 53-man roster, but maybe yeah. If if Kyle and John could see some upside on a running back, I wouldn't say like a second or third round guy, but probably in the late
Hmm.
round. And we're
If you
still
would,
good.
what about what would you think about possibly Najee Harris? Trading up into the first round for Najee Harris. I know that if we trade back in the first round, we're going to want to look at a J.C. Horn or a Samuels or something like that. But what would you think about possibly Najee Harris?
It depends how much we have to give up to
Yeah,
get him.
move back up.
Yeah. Maybe he won't. mm, Maybe he'll be inside the 20, possibly, and it
Tony
will only.
range.
Maybe we can. You know
Well,
how we got. Oh, sorry about that.
yeah, no, go ahead.
You know how we got the compensation third round pick. We could use two thirds or just one to move up in the top 20 again, and see if he's still available.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. Yeah, I think that yeah, definitely bring back up, and I think that yeah, swapping a second and giving them the comp third, I don't think would be too bad. To me, like I was telling everybody that I'm all about quality and not quantity. I don't want a seventh round linebacker that's going to play special teams. I'd rather have that stud safety. I'm okay with picking four stud players because let's be
Yeah,
real, is a seventh round pick going to make this football team? Probably not. Congratulations, faithful. We've come a long way since 2017 when every draft pick was making the roster. Now we can talk about draft picks not making the roster. This is what
yeah,
happens when you become a good football team. Um, but yeah, it's definitely the most thing I'm excited about is getting that quality, getting that stud that's going to be a key contributor to this football team going forward. And with Nick Bosa coming up for a contract here pretty quickly, we're going to eventually have to choose between Debo and Brandon Ayuk. We obviously know that we got Fred Warner's contract coming up here. Probably, I would announce pretty quick. They would probably announce that here pretty quick. I think that it's funny. I think that's what's not been talking about is all the salary cap room that we have and everything like that. Makes me think that we're going to get back in the first round. That we're gonna maybe there's a big move coming that we don't necessarily bring on and everything like that. But before we let you get up out of here, Brian, go ahead and tell the people about your Instagram page and where they can follow you and all that good stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, I started this channel like a while ago. As a Niners fan. It, it all started with watching other guys do it. So I was like, you know what? Why not? Why not me? So, you can find my social media at Niners.coverage, and I just post news updates, stuff like that, and yeah, let's go faithful.
Indeed,
Yeah, let's
man.
do it, brother. Thank you so much for joining us and everything like that. And
Good talking to you, brother.
I'm gonna message you. I got a proposition for you and everything like, bro. But thank you for coming on and everything like that. And definitely go Niners, bro.
All right.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and add
Hey, man, we're like
the
30
third.
seconds.
Oh, we got
Jamie!
30. Oh, baby.
Are you
Oh, look at
ready?
that. Oh, it looks so beautiful. It just popped up on TV, y'all, and everything. How you doing, Jamie?
I'm good. How are you guys? I'm trying to get it on my phone so I can watch. Okay, there we go.
Okay. Okay, good,
Yeah.
good, good. Yeah, no, we're doing legendary. Sorry, the beginning of the draft kind of stole your thunder and everything like that. But
It's totally fine. I'm excited too. All good.
yeah, most
I've been
definitely.
looking forward to this all day.
Dave, how long has it been
For a
this?
while, but today I've been extremely excited. I'm
like I
ready
said
for it to
earlier,
be done.
a month and 3 days, but who's counting? Let's be real. I've
Hey,
been
TJ,
waiting
how
for
many hours
this.
has it been?
Damn, I can't even think about that right now, bro. My brain's too fuzzy. But no, it's definitely. I believe it was you that messaged in the group that said that we had made the trade for 3, and I remember waking up, looking at my
Mhm.
phone, and being like, "What? Holy shit!"
I found out
Yeah,
too.
and I remember looking at my homegirl that we that I'm staying with right now, doing the show from her house. Thanks, Heather. But I
Yes,
remember
thank you.
looking at her and she's like, what happened? What happened? And I was like, the Niners just made the biggest trade in team history. Um, this is, and she was like, yeah, go outside, do your thing, talk your football. And I was like, thanks, I'll be right back. And we obviously were and everything. And look, I think that when the 408 Empire is doing a little draft day party and everything like that, and I had to tell her that we were my chapter president. We were doing the show and everything like that. Big shout out to Lisa, La Presidente, does a great job for us 408 members. I told her, I said, hey, let's go draft the next Joe Montana, and she goes, I wish. And I said, well, maybe we're not going to get Joe Montana, but I'd settle for Jeff Garcia. I think Jeff Garcia really. I think Jeff Garcia comes to the default of following Steve Young. I think if Jeff Garcia had come after Steve, maybe after Alex Smith, or maybe after Sean Hill or whatever, I think that you're having faithful still wear Jeff Garcia jerseys way more than that they do. I think the problem with Jeff Garcia is he followed Steve Young, and when you follow the GLOAT, I mean, Jeff Garcia wasn't going to be, a Hall of Fame quarterback, and so I think that it's I would settle for Jeff Garcia right now. And look, shit, I'm going to celebrate anybody but Mac Jones. I mean, let's be real. We're going to support him. And look, it's about the name on the front of the jersey, not the back. But Jamie, so we're going to go ahead and get your thoughts. Jason and I have been chopping it up here for pretty much about an hour. Trey Lance, Justin Fields, Mac Jones. Are you team Trey to the Bay, or are you team Fields of Gold?
I'm gonna say I think I'm leaning more towards Justin Fields, but I'd be happy with him or Trey Lance, not Mac Jones. I don't know what's gonna happen if we end up drafting him. I really don't know what's gonna happen.
I'm gonna drink a lot until the season.
Yeah.
Look, I already got
I
my
just
bullet
think
rolled.
both of them could be really good in this offense. I think both of them are super athletic. They both have a really good arm, and yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm excited though. Like, I've been excited for a while, but today it finally hit me. I'm like, it's finally here. We're finally gonna figure out who we're drafting. No more questions. Though this
Let's be
morning on
realistic.
Twitter threw everything into a tailspin. I'm like, what is happening with the Aaron Rodgers stuff? I was about to be like, what?
So, okay, I'm glad that you brought that up.
Yeah.
Are you a select the rookie quarterback or trade for Aaron Rodgers?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question. I mean, it's hard because it's Aaron Rodgers and he's proven himself to be so good. But part of me is like, draft the rookie, build your stars, draft your star power, try to at least. And you'll get more time out of a rookie quarterback. You might not have as much time with Aaron Rodgers, though he is Aaron Rodgers. Like, he is one of the most physically gifted and like football smart quarterbacks we've seen in a long time. Like, I've always thought it's him and Tom Brady and Russell Wilson are like kind of in this other tier in a way.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know what
to
you
me,
guys think. I don't know.
I'm not going to be mad. I'm not going to throw my computer. I'm not going to call Kyle Shanahan an idiot. I'm going to say, let's go roll. Let's get a Super Bowl, and let's be real. Not to age Jamie here real quick and everything, but we'll just say it. We haven't won a Super Bowl since the year you were born, love. All right, like let's be real. So, why we had Josh on, and I agree with him, is we're going to get 3-4 years max out of Aaron Rodgers. But if you tell me we get a Super Bowl or two, I would trade 4 years for a Super Bowl or two right now. I mean, that's fine. But like Adam and I'd always used to say on the show before is, look, we're always looking to the future because no matter who we draft today, whether we trade for Aaron Rodgers, no matter Mac Jones, Trey Lance, Kyle Pitts, whoever the hell it is, guess what? I'm going to be a Niner fan. I'm going to be a Niner fan next year and the year after that and the year after that. So I am concerned with the future of this team. And if you can tell me that you can get – look, if it's going to be Mac Jones or Aaron Rodgers, I mean, come on, Aaron. Come back home to the Bay. Let's, win us. Let's make up for the mistake where, let's be real, the last time the Niners picked a quarterback this high was Alex Smith. We made a mistake. We have a chance to rectify that mistake, today. Fine, I'm not going to be mad if it's going to be Mac Jones. But if you're going to tell me Justin Fields, I hate to look at potential because let's be real. We're all scared to be sitting here 4 years, Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch are filed, and Justin Fields ain't even, or Trey Lance or Mac Jones aren't even in the league. And we're sitting there beating ourselves up saying, damn, we could have had Aaron Rodgers and had a Super Bowl, within the last 4 years. And that's what we're all afraid of. We don't want to be kicking ourselves in the ass and saying we passed on Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady twice. I think that's kind of, if we do not win a Super Bowl within the next couple years, I mean, let's be realistic. It's going to be some questions because we passed on Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers twice, and you still haven't won a championship. That's going to be a little hard to swallow, And so I think it has to be the rookie. You're getting that rookie contract when you have Bosa coming up. You're going to have Debo coming up, which this will be a discussion for a later show. But I personally do not see. I don't think that we're going to give Debo a second contract. I think it's going to be Brandon Ayuk that we keep. But I thought we were going to keep DeForest Buckner over Eric Armstead, and look how that turned out.
Hey, if Elijah Moore from Ole Miss is still available in the second when we pick, we get him. I don't care who else is there.
Yeah, no.
You want to talk about getting a receiver? If he is there, we grab him.
I'm the receiver I'm not worried about. I trust Shanahan to pick a receiver. I mean, let's be real. Richie James is a solid receiver for a 7th-round pick. KB was probably one of the best undrafted free agents for the team since, I can't remember. We all know that he has the one blemish for Dante Pettis. And then, we got Brandon Ayuk. So what, you figure Richie James, Trent Taylor, Dante Pettis, and Debo and Brandon Ayuk. Hitting on 3 out of 5 receivers ain't too bad. And you can even throw Kittle because let's be real. Kittle's just a receiver that isn't a tight end's body. What's up, baby? How you doing? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we'll let you go real quick, Jamie, so you can enjoy the draft and everything like that. But everybody make sure to tune in. Jamie, either Friday or Saturday, will be coming out with a press conference with all the rookie press conferences and thoughts about the pick and everything. Make sure you tune into that. We'll go ahead and y'all know we're gonna be up late tonight in the chat. Like this is gonna be a night and everything like that. But
suck for me. I still got to get up at 2:00 and go to work. I'm supposed to be getting ready for bed right now.
I know. Oh, who you telling? All right, Jamie, we'll go ahead and we're going to bring on 49er Media. But thanks for coming on.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Go Niners.
Thanks, Jamie.
Go Niners. You too.
All right, we're going to go ahead and bring up media coverage.
Maybe they're start this, man. It's 10 minutes in and I ain't seen a clock yet.
I know, right? They're having Kings of Leon. I don't even know that band. Maybe I do.
They're all right. They ain't great, but they ain't horrible.
I'm bringing on 49ers Media. I don't think he clicked on the link. Sorry about this, y'all.
They're going to let these guys play like a song or two before they even start.
Oh, wait. No, he is on. Probably should have asked his name before I brought it on. That's horrible. All right, let's go ahead and bring it up. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Good. Good, man. Thanks for having me.
Good, baby. Happy.
What's up, man?
No problem. Thank you for coming on. We definitely look. Let's be realistic here. We're probably going to be making probably one of the biggest draft decisions in team history we want to hear from
Definitely.
all the faithful today. It's probably we might not even make a pick like this in our lifetimes again. Let's be real. I mean, it took
Mm-hmm.
75 years
Yeah.
for us to make a pick like this. It might take another 75. So we definitely want to hear from all the faithful and everything like
Mm-hmm.
that. And so we're gonna go ahead and we'll start this off like we did with every guest that we've had on the show here today. Justin Fields, Trey Lance, Mac Jones. Your thoughts?
Okay. So I'm on. I like Lance a lot. That's who I want.
My man.
Just because I just think that running ability, man, like with our running game, like it would just be insane and so hard for defenses to like stop us. I mean, I know he's
Yeah,
raw and stuff, but like if he's gonna sit for a year, I think you could develop him. He can learn the playbook.
I mean,
He's
definitely, and
easy.
I
The
think that
smartest one.
when you're talking about develop, I think that look, these aren't. And I think a lot of times when you hear about oh, he needs to develop, people weren't alive. I bet you Joe wasn't, throwing the catch his rookie season. So these quarterbacks are going to get better. I mean, what? Trey Lance is 20 years old. I'm
Mm-hmm.
35. Okay. So I can't tell you how much I've matured. My body's changed. I've gotten smarter and everything from 20 to 35. I can't imagine with an athlete with the dedication and the worth ethic that I've heard from Trey Lance about
Mm-hmm.
Trey
Yeah.
Lance. He can't, get better at everything like that. Trey Lance is not going to reach his peak year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, shit, maybe even year 5 or 6. And to
Mm-hmm.
me, that
Boo.
seems best for 49ers football.
Sorry,
Um,
Well,
Ducky.
I
Forgot
so
think
about that.
it's kind of like I think Josh Allen's situation too when he was back in
mhm, mhm, mhm.
Wyoming. It's just so similar because they have like very similar also things that they need to work on. Like so,
Did you see
yeah,
the
Yeah,
video
he
that
may
Josh Allen put out
you
for
may
Trey
not get.
Lance?
Sorry, what?
You see the video that Josh Allen sent to Trey Lance?
Yeah, yeah,
That that had me
no, I
getting hyped
didn't.
for that.
Oh, I have
yeah.
to. You'll have to send it to the group, bro. Send it to the group. I'll have to watch it. But if we take them, but yeah, definitely. And I think that's why I believe it can't be Mac Jones because
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Shanahan saw what having look Patrick Mahomes that 3rd and 15. There's probably not another human being on earth that can make that throw. The man
Yeah.
backpedaled 12 yards and then launched a 60-yard pass.
Mm-hmm.
We saw what. Let's be real. The defense last year wasn't up to the 2019 standard, but that's a damn good defense we had last year. That is a
Yes.
challenge. I believe if we would have gotten to the playoffs, we would have made some noise with our D last year, the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so, with that being said, you can't see what Josh Allen did to our. We did not have any answers. I literally remember watching the Buffalo game, being like, "Dude,
Yeah.
what the hell do we do? Like what can we do?" There was just simply no answer for him
Mm-hmm.
last year. And that's to me why I'm a team Justin Fields. I'm Fields of Gold. Jason, of course, as you probably saw, is Trade of the Bay. I'm
Yep.
Fields of Gold. But that's why I think it can't be Mac Jones. Is because with Trey Lance or Justin Fields, you have that element of what else can the defense do? We've seen it with Russell Wilson's bitch ass. How many times did we see him getting sacked? He
Mm-hmm.
spins out and throws a touchdown pass.
And like
And
the
so
thing
what
is,
can you do
yeah.
against that?
Mm-hmm.
There's no defense against that. There's literally nothing you could do to that. And you have
Yeah.
an opportunity to get that. I mean, you have this franchise has Frankie Albert, Y.A. Tittle, John Brody, Joe Montana, Steve Young, Jeff Garcia, Alex Smith, Colin Kaepernick. I mean, maybe some of those, which one doesn't sound like the other type of thing, but
Mm-hmm.
we've had some great quarterbacks for this franchise.
Yep.
I can't imagine putting Mac Jones on that pantheon. I can't imagine seeing a commercial. I don't know if y'all saw the commercial with Steve, Joe, and Jimmy Garoppolo,
Yeah,
where
no, I haven't seen it.
it's funny, but basically, Jimmy's carrying Joe and Steve's bags and everything, and this kid runs by, and he goes, Joe and Steve go get it, kid, and Jimmy sits there and
Mm-hmm.
goes, yeah, go get it, kid, and Joe says, hey, don't forget that bag, and then Steve goes, hey, Joe, give him a tip, and he goes, oh, I'll give him a tip, all right. But it was kind of one of those just funny, little commercials. And I can't see Mac Jones like that. At the time in 20, this is at the end of 2019 or in 2019. So
The
Jimmy's
clock has
taking us
begun,
to the Super
gentlemen.
Bowl and
Just
all
to
that.
Yep,
let you
the
know.
clock is turning up. Yeah, but
Let's go. Do
talking
it.
about with all the stuff you said, like just because even if you look at the press conference and just what the Niners have
Mm-hmm.
said, like Mac Jones doesn't make any sense because Kyle said he wants a guy that's could be like a Drew Brees, like a Lamar Jackson, like a Patrick Mahomes. That's
Jackson.
no Mac Jones.
Or even the interview after the trade, the press conference right
Yeah,
after the
yeah,
trade,
yep,
where he said
yeah.
you want John Elway, you want Patrick Mahomes,
hmm
Mac Jones. Which one doesn't belong here? When you're talking about John Elway, one of the greatest quarterbacks ever, you're talking about Patrick Mahomes, who,
hmm
yeah, we're not going to talk about him. Still a little sore. I'm sorry, that can't be Mac
Mac,
Jones. Now,
yeah, no.
Now, with that saying, and I want to get your thoughts here on this. With that being said, do you believe that Kyle Shanahan can get the best out of Mac Jones?
I mean, I do think so, but it's just I also kind of worry about him because the thing is, like every time he had a quarterback, he was given Kirk Cousins, he was given Matt Ryan. This is his first time actually making a choice, so
Yes,
that's what
yes.
worries about me about Kyle, and like he might go Mac Jones because of
But here's this about Mac Jones.
And
Mac Jones at his best is basically Jimmy 2.0 if he's healthy.
yeah, yeah.
We did go to the Super Bowl and damn near win it.
hmm
So if we can keep that
Look,
kind of energy, but he stays healthy for years, and we have the same sort of team built around him,
yeah,
I'm okay with that. Because, like I said, Jimmy's
yeah,
biggest liability is his health.
yep,
A healthy Jimmy
yeah,
wins.
exactly.
yeah. A healthy Jimmy wins. A healthy Jimmy's a leader. Everybody likes him too in the locker room.
Yes,
But there's the
I
health part.
believe.
Yep.
Look, it's clearly a health issue with Jimmy Garoppolo. Does he
hmm
have his faults? Of course, he has his faults.
Yes.
Every quarterback's going to have his faults. We brought on Josh Putnam earlier on when we first started and everything, and he talked about how
hmm
Russell Wilson can't read defense. And so every quarterback's going to have its flaws,
Yeah.
but Jimmy is. Look, I'm a huge Jimmy fan, but to me, when we made this trade, and the reason I was okay, let's go get us a quarterback, was the options of having something different. If we're going to get
Yeah.
the same thing, no thanks. I mean, I shouldn't say no thanks. I wouldn't be mad if you said, "Hey, we can get a healthier Jimmy Garoppolo that can stay on the field." Hey, cool, I'm down with that. But does he have Jimmy swag? Does he have the I'm going to run? Is he going to make his teammates go run through a brick wall? Are him and George Kittle wearing shirts of each other's wearing each other on shirts and all the funny things that when you talk about the locker room, you talk about the culture. I remember probably one of the coolest moments of my life is I went up to the book release of the Letters to 87 book by Matt Mayoko. And I went up to San
hmm
Francisco for the book launching, got to meet Matt Mayoko. One of the coolest moments is I'm walking off the Caltrain in downtown San Francisco, and here walks, why did I forget his name? Keena Turner, Dwight Hicks, and the corner that made Eric Wright. All of a sudden they're walking off the Caltrain right in front of me. And so I run up, I'm like,
Dad.
Mr. Hicks, all of them, and
What
I'm
are
meeting
the
their hands, and
Jets doing, man? They're
I
taking.
know, man. It's like I'm like, wait, we're about
It's like
5
it's
minutes.
Trevor
Just put Trevor
Lawrence.
Lawrence's name
What?
in already, damn it.
yeah, exactly. That is funny that it is taking that long. But anyway,
That's why I always
to sum up
wonder
the
why the
story,
first pick takes like so long because I'm like,
No,
it's
you know who
obvious.
you're taking. Just
Yeah.
take him.
the funniest thing is, one of the podcasts I listen to a billion podcasts, but they were talking about how that let's be real, this is a TV event, right? This is about ratings. It's about ad dollars the NFL can sell, and because crazy people like us want to sit up and watch,
hmm
people who are half our age get drafted and become millionaires and make money that we never will. But you know, with the idea of them going, well, basically we know what the first two picks are going to be. The NFL might have gone to the Niners and said, "Hey, don't leak this because we don't want to wait for the first
No, they did.
three picks
They
to
did
to
tell them
come
that.
in, and all of a sudden the show starts at pick 4, and everybody could be
Yeah.
like, I could watch the draft after pick 4 because we
Yeah,
already
I
know who
heard
the
that
first
from
three picks
someone
are."
too. It's like the thing is you kind of already know who's taking it too, and then it's like, yeah, you want some excitement at least.
Exactly. I mean, because what? It's a 10 minutes, so we might be. You don't want to be 30 minutes into your show and the excitement hasn't happened yet.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. But the point I was trying to bring up is you see right there in front of me, I saw the closeness of the 89ers. You had Dwight Hicks, Eric Wright, and Keena Turner coming for, Dwight Clark's book launching. And we all saw how during the last little bit of his life that all Dwight Clark's teammates coming out to Montana to see him and everything. The closeness of that 80s team, was one of the reasons we were a dynasty. And I believe that we've created that type of locker room here. And to disrupt that, to look into, Nick Bosa, to look into Fred Warner's eyes, to look into Trent Williams' eyes
Dre
and say,
Greenlaw.
hey, look, Dre Greenlaw, and to say, hey, look, we know that you love Jimmy, but we're going to go ahead and get rid of Jimmy. And we're not going to bring a quarterback where you could say, hey, look, that's a clear upgrade. I mean, I don't think that anybody is going to disagree that Justin Fields or Trey Lance is an upgrade from Jimmy Garoppolo. Any player is going to see, okay, fine, that's an upgrade. But that can upset a locker room. I mean, let's just be real here. It's going to upset the locker room if you trade Jimmy Garoppolo, a popular player in the locker room, to basically
Mm-hmm.
essentially replace him with the same type of player. Now, if you do that and you can say, hey, look, we understand y'all love Jimmy, but this quarterback right here can make throws that Jimmy couldn't make in his dreams. This quarterback can hit the field with a 4.4, 4.2, 4.3 speed. That Jimmy's simply never going to have.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm a player in that locker room, I'm okay with that. I'm okay, fine. Because it's like Eric Davis says on the Believe in 49ers podcast, I want all the good players on my team. We'll figure out playing time. We'll figure out that. Bring me all the good players. I want to see I want the 53 best players in red and gold. Okay, so
What
it
the
looks like
heck?
it's in.
They just reset the clock though, and it didn't
Yeah, I was
stop
about to
everything.
say, it looked like they were about to, everybody's celebrating and they were clapping, and then all of a sudden it reset the clock.
Okay, well, now it's
Wow, okay,
in.
the pick is
To
in.
me, Trevor Lawrence looked like
So let's see.
Peyton Manning, but with long hair.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, I get a. Hey, so I don't know if y'all seen. Remember the Titans? By the way,
Yes.
Yeah, he
Mia,
looked like
we
what's his name?
ask you your name, bro. What was your name?
My
Sunshine.
name is Anshul.
Oh,
Anshul. Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah.
I should have mentioned that
No,
when
it's all
we were
good.
mentioning Anshul. But I don't know if you ever seen Remember the Titans?
I have.
he
But
do look like
yeah.
Sunshine.
Don't y'all get a sunshine vibe from Trevor Lawrence? I totally get
Yeah.
a sunshine vibe. Like if I ever want to meet him, I just want to look at him and go, sunshine. I just totally get a sunshine. I mean, he's a good American,
Mm-hmm.
all American boy next door.
The poster child.
Definitely is.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Come
Oh,
on.
can we
Why
get it?
does the
How
why
long
does
does
the
it take
clock
for the pick
reset?
to get? So wow, they had fans actually there this year. I was gonna be up in Vegas last year. I was actually a little disappointed it wasn't in Vegas this year. Where
Mm-hmm.
is it? I don't even know where that city is.
Cleveland, I think. Isn't it Cleveland?
Is it Cleveland? Oh, that's
I
kind of
think
an
so.
interesting
The
place to
pick
have
is
the
in.
draft. The pick is in. So we'll go ahead and we'll waive this while we're waiting for our. Well, I guess he's coming up right now, and then I'll go ahead and ask you this question after the pick is in. It
All right.
sounds they're gonna have a fan call it, dude. I wonder how much season tickets that person had to buy to be able to do that.
No, it
You know
probably
what?
went
I'm
to something
saving
like
this right
some
now,
sort of charity type thing, I bet. They probably had a contest or something like
and
that.
okay, I see. Select Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, we all knew that. We all knew that. I read his lips. I'm actually
Yep.
apparently pretty good at lip reading. Yeah, so
I was
no
like, for a
surprise
sec,
here.
I was gonna be like, is he gonna say Justin Fields?
What
I
would
said
that be
Justin
if you
Fields,
said
dude. The whole
Justin
draft
Fields?
gets blown up.
Oh my God! I really think I'm curious. We all know that the Jets are on the clock here and everything like that, but I think to me,
Here
this
it
kind
comes.
of where it picks up for the Niners because this is hey, is that relationship with Sala? Is there a traded two vibe here? How much is
Mm-hmm.
that relationship with Sala? Is it going to be Zach Wilson or are we going to flip flop picks and everything like that? And I'm really excited. I do believe that we're not going to trade up to two. I do believe that they will select Zach Wilson, but I believe this is where the intrigue of the draft does start. Now, like I was going to ask
Mm-hmm.
before this started and everything like that. Going forward beyond round one, any players or positions even that you're interested in us selecting in the rest of the draft?
Let's see. I like this. I like Richie Grant, the safety, a lot. Just because like he's a playmaker, great in coverage too. I mean, I really knew about him when I watched him in the Senior Bowl, and I know
Uh,
his stock just like skyrocketed now. I don't think we'll be getting him. Like I feel like it's not a great chance for getting him, but yeah.
okay. I don't know if you've heard of him, but Troy Warner. I've been
Oh
telling
yeah, no,
everybody about
we
Troy
all know
Warner.
Troy Warren.
I've been beating the table for him and everything like that because I'm all about. Look, I did not, and I know Kim's gonna bring this up because she brings it up every time in the. We got to ask you, what jersey are you rocking today?
I'm rocking a limited time George Kittle jersey.
Let's go, Kittle Corn. We got the two Kittle Corns
Well, that's
today, but
285s back to back.
285s back to back. You can never go
Yeah.
wrong with Kittle Corn. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Cool story. I haven't told the story on air for a while, but George Kittle's rookie year, I went to training camp. I go to all the open training camps that the team
Mm-hmm.
have because I literally right now I'm like literally if I stood on my homegirl's roof, I could see Levi Stadium from where I'm at right now. And then I live about 20 minutes away from Levi's. So what's he? Oh, you know what? I'm not sold on Trevor Lawrence. I'll go ahead and get
Really?
back to the story in a second. But I'm not because to me, when you're the number one overall pick, you're the franchise quarterback. Let's be real. Trevor Lawrence could very well be the face of the NFL in a couple of years.
Oh,
And you
looks
tell
like
me
the
you
pick
don't
is
need
in
football? Oh, the pick is in.
because I just got a tweet from one of the Niners guys who was like, the Niners are on the clock. So
Oh,
from
okay,
Matt
I
Barrows,
ain't
yeah.
seeing that.
Must be a delay or something like that. So
Well, the
we're gonna go
NFL
ahead and we'll
always
keep.
gets it early, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna. Well, I know that getting into the Niners, I think they call it stacks and bags, but Niners Nation. I hate saying that because we're Empire, never Nation. But Rob Stats Guerrera has a show on Friday, and his co-host works for NFL Network. She's working on the draft right now, and she said they get the picks about I think it's about a couple minutes in. They know so they can get the graphics ready and all that type of stuff for the behind the scenes coverage and everything like that. But um, it does always seem to take forever. It really does.
Yeah, I'm
But
well, it's probably because they have to turn in the car, then they have to probably call the player
yeah,
and just yeah.
call the
And I mean,
player and all that.
especially if
But to
they're
me,
obviously not gonna be talking trades probably here, but obviously if they were, it
no,
would also take longer.
I think that you have to listen. You're not
Yeah.
doing your job as a GM and a head coach if you're not listening to offers. I mean, we
Hmm.
all, I don't know, you might be a little too young, but, I remember the draft where the Saints gave up their whole entire draft for Ricky Williams, and everything like that. I mean, think about it. If somebody calls the draft Jets right now and says, hey, we'll trade you our whole entire draft for number two, you got to listen to that phone call. I mean, whether
Hmm.
you make the decision or not, you're not doing your job as a GM if you don't at least take that phone call.
Yep.
You
They're
got
gonna
to
show Mac Jones, I bet, on the third pick, like before it gets in, because
Oh
they
yeah.
they keep showing Zach Wilson.
They're
So
gonna zoom in on Mac Jones, definitely.
yeah.
It's. I'm sorry, I just can't believe that. Oh, we lost Jason. We'll get him back here
Yep. Okay.
shortly when he hops back in. But yeah, I just can't believe that it's. You don't make a trade all the way to 3. You don't make one of the biggest trades in
Hmm.
franchise history for Mac Jones. I'm sorry, you do that for somebody that's a difference maker.
Yeah, and I mean the thing is, like any of the
Big
two guys,
advantage.
if it's Fields or Lance, they're able to extend plays. I mean, they have special talent, athleticism.
They could just do stuff. Look, I
Hmm.
was telling people. Okay, we got Jason back.
Yeah, I
I was
moved so I
telling
can
people
actually see something.
before. Okay,
Oh,
I
never
got you.
mind. They're showing
No,
the NFC Championship. Looks like
Yeah.
right.
so
The pick is.
Also what I never realized this. I don't know where you're at, but it's funny because East Coast. Jason and I are here on the West Coast. I'm in California. He's in Washington.
I'm in
A lot of the
California too.
times. Okay, you're in California too. Then never mind. Because I was gonna say sometimes there's a delay because I never knew this, but East Coast. So probably on the East Coast, they've already said that the Niners are on the clock. Apparently, there's a
Mm,
delay.
yeah.
Man, they are dragging this out like crazy.
I know.
This is ridiculous.
Okay, well he's coming up. Are you guys behind at all, or are you watching?
No, I see it now. He's walking up to the couch right now.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I don't.
Yeah, that's why I moved to my TV because I was watching. It's easier for me to do stuff from my computer, but
Hmm.
I got tired of everybody being ahead of me.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Okay. I was almost wondering if they were going to pick Justin Fields
I
just
know. I
because.
thought there was like a small chance.
Yeah, I was kind of worried there for a second. I was like, oh, what's going to go on here?
No, I thought Zach Wilson was at home.
You thought he was what?
I thought he wasn't at I thought he wasn't in Cleveland.
We're back on. We're back on.
Yeah, I didn't think
Sorry
he was
about
there
that,
either.
y'all. We had a little. Yeah, no, we had to get a little. So it was Zach Wilson. Sorry, I totally missed it
Yep.
because I was working on the.
Nope.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
probably go
okay,
on
cool.
mute after the pick is in for us.
Yeah. No, this is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
We're on the
San
clock.
Francisco 49ers are
We're
on the
on the
clock, baby. Oh, I'm fired up. This is,
get it.
this might be. I remember
Wait, you're
in
not
05.
behind, right? I don't want to like ruin the pick or anything because I
No.
know
I
Jason.
don't think so.
Okay.
It's what it's showing 6:52. Is it showing 6:50
45.
for y'all?
6:45. So
Okay,
I think
y'all
you
a
are
little bit
maybe a
ahead.
little bit.
Yeah, we're like 7-8 seconds
Yeah,
ahead of you.
y'all a little bit ahead of me. So I'll go ahead and I'll make the announcement, and then we'll go ahead and we'll get everybody's reactions and everything like that. I mean, y'all celebrate, y'all jumping. Who gives a damn, bro? We're having a loosey goosey, draft show
Yep.
today. I
This
mean,
is the most important, draft over here. So.
look, this might be the type of draft we could tell our grandkids about. You know,
Hmm.
when they're, when they're wearing their little, Justin Fields or Trey Lance, onesie and everything like that, or pajamas and everything. We sit them on our lap to tell them the story about when we won the Super Bowl in 2021. That we might tell them the story. I remember in
All
05.
right.
I remember sitting there and watching it in 05.
I think that guy was trying to take Zach Wilson on the opposite side of the stage.
Okay, I think I'm gonna watch the rest of the.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, of course, brother. Yeah, no, we'll get him back in when we'll get him back in when the picks up and everything if he wants to come back in. Oh man, it's it's so funny. It took like forever to get here, and I think the last 15 minutes of my life, the last 36 minutes of my life have been the longest 36 minutes of
It
my
has been a
life.
long time.
It's definitely, you know. So I think that it was went pat like we all thought it was. I didn't think that they were going to trade up, but they possibly could have, or
There was a
trade down. I meant,
small part of me that thought they were going to grab Fields, though. I ain't gonna lie.
yeah. I could have seen it, and what made me believe it was Zach Wilson is when you heard them meeting his family and things of that nature.
Yeah.
You pretty much knew, but you never know.
And his
I
family
mean,
looks like the Backstreet Boys come to life.
That's what that JetBlue money will do for you, right?
I mean, they all look exactly the same.
God, that's what having JetBlue money and the best doctors and best healthcare products can do for you. All right, we're 410. Oh, ladies, oh
Four
man,
right
this
now
is
for me.
definitely. All right, we'll see. Man, I don't even know what to talk about. We're just kind of just killing time here
Well, I know
for a
right now
second.
I'm just like, just do it already. We've kind of said everything. Look, we've had the same conversation for the last 3 weeks.
For real,
like,
and that's pretty much what doing a podcast. And guess what? After the pick is made, we'll probably have the same conversations for the next
4
2 months.
So.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna.
But it's funny, like obviously we both watch a ton of podcasts. Everybody is saying the exact same damn thing over and over and over. Like we have beat this into the ground. Oh, they're clapping. They picked it.
They're clapping.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, you are a little ahead because it's still showing that chick. And then okay. But no, exactly. That's what I tell people is that's why it's always good to have guests on the show, is because you can finally get somebody else's opinion. And it's that's why it's always so exciting to get to the season finally, because you're like, look, we've talked about the season enough. Jason Verrett just tweeted, "Here we go."
Nice.
The wait's finally over. Hold on, let me see. I don't even know if I want to look at Twitter. I'm trying not to look at Twitter
because it's popped up on the Twitter and stuff on my phone before it shows up on TV.
Yeah, I don't even want to. I want to get that pure natural reaction.
Yeah.
So we'll see what it is.
Look, they are going to milk this until the last damn second. Watch. Because they know the whole draft is dependent on this pick. The whole draft changes after this.
Okay. Are you picking up any of that sound? I've had it on mute this whole time, but when they okay, good. Because we don't need the NFL or no, I don't hear anything. Okay, we don't need the NFL or NBC or NFL Network or anything suing us for or trying to remove the podcast or something like that.
What, are they going to get $1.50 out of us, man? Come on. Let them sue me.
I know, right? Join the long list of people waiting it. Oh, apparently, I guess Jed's.
It's official. The pick is in.
It's official. The pick is in. I already got a graphic design for either of the quarterbacks. Wow, they do all look the same. Like the Stafford family. Oh, I guess Jed York was tweeting to people and said the power is out. They couldn't call in the pick. I guess Nate had said that in the chat. All right, let's get it.
Jesus Christ.
How many viewers? We got one viewer right now.
Just shut up and give me the pick, for crying out loud.
Oh, they just highlighted Kyle. I was surprised they're showing this. They're not showing as much Mac Jones. I thought it'd be all Mac Jones all the time. Let's go. Fields of gold, baby.
Take the stage. Here they comes.
Oh God. All right, yeah, I am a little bit behind on you.
Shut up. I'm enjoying this, but it's also stressful as a motherfucker. My roommate's
It
over here
is,
giving me
dude.
shit.
I've never felt, bro.
All right, here
Look
we
at
go.
my
Here
hand.
we go.
All right.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Yes! Let's get it, baby! Oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. It's not Mac Jones. Oh, God. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you,
Hell
Jesus.
yeah!
Oh, Trey to the Bay, baby. Oh, my God. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Oh, oh, my God. I'm going to cry. I'm going to fucking cry. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Did not receive
You're
an
doing
offer
good,
from
brother.
a. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, uh-oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
baby.
wow. Let's get it, baby.
Now I can come back over here because I can see it's not caught up yet.
Yeah, okay. Oh, there's Patricia. I know her. Oh, I'm seeing a bunch of people I know on the TV right now. That's so funny. Sorry, y'all. Kim said it. We drafted Trey Lance. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put out the social media as soon as we see it. You know what? He looks damn good in that draft hat.
You do. I ain't
I
gonna
don't
lie.
think anybody else. Hey, bro, can you cover for about 5-10 minutes?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, cool. I'll be right back, y'all.
All right, everybody. You see it. We do have Trey to the Bay. We finally got him. Everybody can take a sigh of relief. It was not Mac Jones. Oh man, that hat looks good on him. He looks good in Niner red and gold. Oh man, this is what we've been waiting for. I think this means we're definitely keeping Jimmy, and we're definitely going to keep this for another. Keep him for the next season. Look at that pocket work though. I don't think anybody. We are going to sleep good tonight. Look, some of the things I've been looking at Trey Lance for a long time, as most of you guys have known. And like I said, his football IQ with being able to call audibles, he calls his own protections and all that kind of stuff. Yes, he hasn't played a lot, but if he was doing all of that at 19 years old, he's only going to get better. He's going to get better. He's going to get coached to learn all this stuff. Everything else will come in time. It's not going to be, he's not going to start this year more than likely. There's the idea that Kyle's offense is pretty long or takes a while to really get. Sorry, I'm looking at I'm watching along with doing our cast at the same time. I've also got a couple of others watch. I've got Nitty Gritty up. I've got Real Talk. I've got Nothing But Niners. I've got all these guys open in different tabs. Jump around, go see the other shows, see how they're celebrating too. There's a couple of people up there that they were definitely on the Justin Fields, and they are not too happy right now. But look, like anything else, he's there. The pick is in. Now we just work. I gotta watch the interview now.
Really emotional. Just like I said, just super thankful for everyone who's been agreement with me and everyone else. Just very blessed.
You know, from the time that the Niners made that massive trade up to number 3, I think a lot of people talked about Mac Jones. What happened over the last couple of weeks? What actions like in the interaction?
Super excited. Like I said, I'm super excited.
What happened over the last couple of weeks was the fact that they finally got to see Lance up close.
Super excited.
What did you feel like the conversation?
It's a very nice PC thing to say for what he said for Mac Jones.
I'm sure the next conversation will be with Jimmy Garoppolo. What would you like him to know right now?
I'm excited to learn from everything he's done. Mental, I'm super excited to be there.
Congratulations.
Susie, thank you. That interview with Susie was brought to you by Snickers. And so history has now been made tonight, or at least it has been matched. This is the third time in NFL history that we've had quarterbacks go 1, 2, and 3 in the same class.
Question is, what does the Falcons do now? Do they go Pitts? Do they take Fields? Because taking Fields would make a lot of sense for them. Well, the Falcons now, we got to figure out, what are they going to do? I kind of want to see them draft a quarterback, because it'd be the first time that we'd have the first 4 picks being quarterbacks. So, like you guys know that I live up here in the Pacific Northwest, and so now I am getting bombarded with messages from Facebook and on just my text messages are from friends right now. Oh, here we go. Let's see what the Falcons do. Take a quarterback just because I want to see it. They took Pitts. They couldn't resist. I mean, he is, without a shadow of doubt, the best player in the draft. Like, I wouldn't even be mad if the Niners had taken him. The bad part is that we can no longer say Kittle and Pitts, Kittle and Pitts, Kittle and Pitts. I was going to make a shirt like that tomorrow.
Hey man, that's your brother providing man that anybody part.
Sorry, I got it up on one of the other podcasts that I'm watching and listening to at the same time because not Niners related, so let's talk. Kim, I get that when it comes to the epilepsy, but there's been other players. He hasn't had an episode. I think they said it was like 6 years. Most people typically do outgrow it. I mean, you could push it and say that, but I don't think so.
They should have kept this magic. Yeah, right? Right. That's the bionic man. It's my word up, man. That's my word up. And now they can't talk about it. And then they're going to go 40 points. 40 points. That's going to be interesting to watch this too. So I want to do anything to get back into the But you guys know, I want to meet the show.
So Cincinnati, I think Cincinnati goes with Penei Sewell. You know, they lost what's his name last year, Burrows. You know, if they want to keep him around to be the number one quarterback, he's got to be able to stay healthy.
Sorry about that, y'all. I think I deserve this. I think we all deserve one of these and everything like that. But look, I'm sorry for that reaction, y'all. I know that wasn't very professional. Fuck it. We're never professional at Niner Faithful Radio. We're fans. Look, I was just happy it wasn't Mac Jones. I ain't gonna lie. I thought I was gonna be cussing out Kyle Shanahan something vicious right now. I have to say this before we get started. Congratulations, Trey. Well deserved. I'm fired up to have you in the Bay. We will. I'll make the announcements now. We are going to be coming out with our own clothesline called "For the Faithful, by the Faithful." More than a game at life, it's a lifestyle. That's our little tagline. But and we will be making our Trey to the Bay shirts. I'll probably work on them tonight. We will going to be launching this probably in sometime in the late summer, early fall. But we're going to put out the coming soon video and all that later. But I have to say congratulations. Well deserved. I am fired up to get you to the Bay. Not given an offer by any 5 conference team. Wanted to go to Minnesota. They wanted him to play safety. How many times have we seen an athletic black quarterback having to change positions? You know, I think we're going to get one of the most fired up, motivated quarterbacks in the draft. I think that we might see a little Justin Fields type of slide. I think we might see a couple Justin Fields, Aaron Rodgers type of slide for Justin Fields, which will obviously motivate him more.
I don't think he's going to slide that far.
No. He's not going to slide that far. He's still going to be in the top 10. But I was just more talking about, you know, being the third quarter or the fourth quarterback taken type of thing. You know, not necessarily that he's going to slide to the 20s. Shit, if he slides to the 20s, let's trade back up and draft him, and let's have 2 quarterbacks. For real, I'm not
college boys.
We're quarterback happy today. But I'm definitely fired up. I would like to caution the faithful, including myself, that he is not going to be Joe Montana. There will never be another Joe Montana. He's not going to go 4-0 this point. I'm sorry?
I don't want him to be.
No, I want him to be better than Joe Montana. Let's be real. But, you know, let's caution. You know, let's not. I remember when I met Alex Smith shortly after he got drafted, and I pretty much told him, I said, look, if you don't want to come to a franchise that's going to critique you more than any franchise probably in the NFL, you know, especially let's be real. The faithful are hard on our quarterbacks. And why? Because we've had the GOAT and the GLOAT. And so I said, if you're not wanting to be held up to that standard, you know, I'm sorry, you're playing for the wrong franchise. So I would say that the same thing to Trey Lance. Look, if you don't want to be compared to Joe Montana and Steve Young, sir, you're playing for the wrong franchise. Okay, because there will be people that compare you to Joe Montana and Steve Young. But you know, let's be cautious about that. But at the same time, let's get fired up, bruh. I really do think we made the right decision. I do believe that, of course, I was, team Fields of Gold, but I do believe we made the right decision, and I do believe we're going to be talking about a dynasty. Maybe not 5 Super Bowls, like maybe not 6 like the Patriots, but I
So
believe
you have
that
to remember, we have to
championships.
temper it a little bit. You have to bring it down a little bit because he's
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
not going to play next season. So
No,
I know
he's not
everybody's
gonna.
excited now, but he's not starting this year. So I mean, get excited, but then like I said, tomorrow wake up. It was a party tonight. Tomorrow we get back to the
Yeah,
grind.
yeah, exactly. Let's enjoy the night. This is 24-hour rule. What do we always say after every victory and every
24-hour
loss
window.
on the show? We always say 24-hour rule. It's the 24-hour rule, and then you move on. So let's be happy. Let's enjoy this, faithful. We've earned this. I mean, I'm trying not to get emotional right now, just off the fact is, I've watched some bad quarterback play for this franchise. I know you have as well, Jason. We've watched some bad quarterback play. I mean, we love him as a film breakdown specialist, but not as a quarterback. Mr. JT O'Sullivan, Sean Hill, Cody Pickett, Ken Dorsey, Jim
The greatest
Druckenmiller,
of all time, Jim Druckenmiller.
Jim Druckenmiller. I'm probably trying to Gio Gavazzi, who we selected over, Tim Rattay. All these to be able to say that the Niners have opportunity, the keyword opportunity, to have one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Ladies and gentlemen, let's just take a moment to breathe that in. That this franchise that had Joe Montana, Steve Young, Frankie Albert, Wyatt Tittle, John Brody, we can have one of the best quarterbacks in the league again. And what makes me even more excited is he'll be better next 2 years from now than he will be this year.
Yep.
And his trajectory is going up, up, up. And like I've been saying, in all the pre-draft shows, this is exciting for anybody, because for those who don't believe in Lynchahan, you have your opportunity to criticize him, or in a couple of years you might have his opportunity. For us who believe in Shanahan, you're fired up because Shanahan just got his quarterback. So I missed it.
Took Jamar Chase at LSU, wide receiver.
Nice. Well, giving Joe Burrow one of his weapons. That's smart. That's smart.
I mean, yeah, there's definitely a connection there.
I forget his name right now, the receiver from Ohio State, but I'm disappointed because he's obviously going to be a first rounder, and we don't have a first round pick next year, but I would love to select him for, if we would have selected Justin Fields. I don't know of any receivers that play for North Dakota State. Sorry. But,
Even
possibly
I don't. I've
let's
been
look
watching
into
the hell of his game tape.
Yeah, right. So maybe we should start looking into receivers that played with Trey Lance, and that might be a receiver we take this year or next year. But
at the same time, with the offense that they ran, it was not – he only threw like 16, 17. He was basically Jimmy in the playoffs. But he was a better version of Jimmy in the playoffs.
Look, we've been talking – what we were talking about for the last hour and something – he could do things that you can't stop. He could do things that Jimmy can't do. You could have the world's best defense, the defense that's perfectly designed to stop the play. But if he rolls out in the pocket and runs around, and a defense can only cover it for so long. Or, if everybody's covered, he can take it 80 yards to the house. We have a quarterback, again, think about I tell people, think about Cap. And think about just how you used to feel when Cap stepped on the field, and just you felt that any play we could score. You felt like, think about what it was in 2012 and 2013, the peak of Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick that went into Green Bay and outdueled Aaron Rodgers, the Colin Kaepernick that went into Carolina and outdueled Cam Newton.
Yep.
He's that as far as running is concerned, but with a better, more accurate arm.
Honestly, he's really not like Cap when it comes to running, though.
He's not.
Not per se like with Cap. Cap,
Well, I
if he
meant
hit
as
the
far as
open
like
field,
the
he had
ability.
them long legs and he was gone because
Yeah.
Cap he could glide to the end zone.
Yeah.
Um,
Daddy long legs.
where Cap wasn't all that great necessarily was like between the tackles kind of thing. He wasn't the shiftiest of runners.
Yeah.
Don't shoot me now. Trey Lance. Trey Lance is a lot shiftier side to side than Cap was. It's not saying one is horrible, but when it comes to that, like he won't outrun everybody per se on a defense like Cap did. You're probably going to see him shake people a little bit more. Almost think of how like Russell Wilson does that one little stupid shake he does, and then he makes people. That's what he is. He's more of that than he was with Cap.
Okay, well, see, it's what I meant as far as the ability to take it to the house. That's what I meant when I said like Cap. But we're not going to see the ball thrown at receivers' feet. We're like we did with Colin Kaepernick. We're not going to see the ball sail out of bounds. Or it's. And I think what we're going to see is we're finally going to get the question to answer: Is Kyle Shanahan? Is he a Norv Turner? Great offensive coordinator, shitty head coach, or can he be like a Bill Walsh? He will never be Bill because will never be undefeated in the Super Bowl. But can he be like a Bill Walsh, where you think of him as one of the greatest offensive minds and coaches of all time? And I'm fired up because we get to see it. For us who believe in Shanahan, for us who believe that he is going to be like Bill, we get our opportunity to prove it because he quarterback to develop. He gets his hand chosen quarterback to develop. Now, of course, we all know if the rumors are true and the front office was the one that wanted Trey Lance and Kyle Shanahan wanted Mac Jones, okay, fine, it wasn't the quarterback he wanted. But to me, that proves even better, and that looks even better for the Niners because that means, A, Kyle Shanahan's listening to his scouts. And he's saying, hey, don't let me, in 3 months of watching this prospect, outrule scouts who have been watching him since he first got at North Dakota State. Yeah. Let me listen to the guys who have been watching him since he got at North Dakota State and the scouts that have been scouting these players. And it's not like what we thought it was. I was ready to criticize him, if it was Mac Jones, so I got to praise him that it's not. It's not, oh, Kyle Shanahan, Mr. Arrogant Bastard, I know everything. No, it's Kyle Shanahan saying, look, I've hired these people to do this job. Let me listen to them and allow them to do their job. And to me, that's
when it comes to like a leadership type of thing, trusting your people and to let them do their jobs is one of the best things. I'm sweating because of all this.
Yes, it's to me. So we all heard sorry about that, y'all. We all heard the rumor. I heard on a podcast earlier that Bill didn't even want Joe. I've heard many quarterbacks, including that Bill wanted Phil Simms, but the Niners didn't have a first round pick that year because of the O.J. Simpson trade. And so it was. I've always heard that it was Sean McVay who wanted Joe Montana. It wasn't even Bill Walsh. Sean McVay wanted Joe Montana. And as much as, but see, I don't think that takes away from Bill. It's Bill listening. Hey, I hired this man to be this man is my general manager. Let me listen to him. That was Bill Walsh saying, let me listen to him. Kyle Shanahan. I hired John Lynch.
Waddle, Alabama to the Dolphins.
You know what? That's going to be amazing for Tua. The same thing with, Smith with
Burrows,
Joe Burrow, Tua with Waddles.
Yep.
That is, you know what? The Dolphins, to me, I think the Dolphins could be scary, sneaky good this year.
The Dolphins got like, 10 draft picks, and then they got like 8 next year. If they get this right, they are set.
It's going to be one of those things that it's going to be like, it's almost going to be quite like the Harbaugh Niners, when the hardball Niners didn't start in 2011. They started in 2005 with Frank Gore. Now, obviously, the Dolphins are hoping it doesn't take from the same 6 years that it took the Niners, but it started with drafting Frank Gore and Alex Smith. It started with drafting Vernon Davis, Patrick Willis, Navarro Bowman. Now the Dolphins, with as many picks as they have over this draft and next draft, they can multiply that. They have 2 first picks, so instead of having to wait 2 years to take a Patrick Willis and a Vernon Davis, they could take the Vernon Davis and the Patrick Willis in the same draft. So Miami could be one of those teams that could be sneaky good this year. They could be, now that New England, if New England, isn't Mr. New England, we're going to win the division. No need for a team to even try. New England's going to win the division every year.
Yeah.
Now that it's up in the air, we don't know. Can Josh Allen put it together for 2 years consecutive? Can he? Because now the teams, okay, you like to do this. Now we're going to scheme for that. It's all about how you adjust.
Yep.
And so can Josh Allen put together 2 years in a row? We don't know. So that division could be a lot closer and a lot tighter than people think it is. Them and
who would you put one?
It's the
right
Bengals.
now?
Fine. What happened?
Who would you put number one right now in the AFC East?
Oh, you would have to go with Buffalo, just because it's I mean,
the team's already together.
Exactly. But if you gave me the right odds, I don't really know odds per se enough to think them in my head. But if you gave me $100 and it was the right odds, would I put $100 on Miami? Yeah. If it was good enough odds and I had the $100, sure, whatever. If I could double, triple my money. Sure, why not? Why not put it on Miami? I know I said this last year. I'm curious to see how Arizona does in this draft, because I always feel, they're the Cardinals and we make fun of them and everything like that, but they give the Niners fits. And I remember all offseason last year, I said, I know we swept them in 2019, but beware of Arizona. Don't think that Arizona is going to be a cakewalk. Arizona is going to be one of those sneaky 8-8 type of teams. And lo and behold, what happened week 1? We lost air. That's why I came on air week 1. I was like, I wasn't surprised. I was pissed. I was disappointed. And yeah, I thought we were going to win, but it didn't surprise me that we lost to Arizona. We've had fits with Arizona. Arizona hits on a couple of these picks, gets a superstar or two. Arizona could be a sneaky team. It's all, of course, dependent.
Still pretty good.
Every team is dependent on Kyler Murray. But if J.J. Watt can have a little bit of a resurgence, and stay healthy, and you got Hopkins, of course, we all know what he can do. Arizona is one of those sneaky teams. I'm not so much worried about the Yams. Yeah, okay, Matthew Stafford's going to make them better than Jared Goff ever could, clearly. They're the only team in history that traded their quarterback and had to give up picks with it. Like, think about it. Think about how crazy that trade is. It might be the only trade in NFL history where you trade your first round your starting quarterback and have to give up picks in order to do it. That might be that the
weird things
most
over there in
unique
Ramland, man.
It's will they be better? It's yes, they will be better. I don't think we can win, games 20-13. We're going to have to put up some points when we play the Yams next year. But as much as people want to talk about, Jared, Sean McVay and, all that and everything like that, hey, you know what? Y'all seem to forget that when Kyle Shanahan has had a decent quarterback, and even with Nick Mullins trying to give away the game last year, look, we're in the Yams' head, and it's not even necessarily about this. We own the Yams. Let's be real. Since my life, we've owned the Yams. Yeah, there's time periods where they would sweep us when we were garbage. But what was it? The famous Dana, I believe it was Dana Stubblefield who uttered the very famous line, "Still same sorry ass Rams," right? Like, and
And it's funny that
the pick is in for Detroit.
yep. It's funny that we can't beat the Rams,
They picked
but then
Sewell.
the Rams beat up
They
on the
picked
Seahawks.
Sewell.
They picked Sewell.
Yeah,
Damn.
exactly. And let's be real. We could admit, you could say whatever about the first game that week 8 in Seattle. Fine, they blew us out, and you could say they let the foot off the gas or whatever. But we recover that onside kick. Pete Carroll's butthole gets a little bit tighter, and we should have won week 17. We
It
should
was
have
damn
beat.
close. Damn close.
Yeah, we should have beat them week 17. Lesson learned: we're better. We're a better football team than shit out. And what do they? They depend on freak things. Like, look, we all know Dre Greenlaw. When I was at the game, in 2019, when I was watching the Dre Greenlaw pick, I thought that was game. When we lined up for that field, I was like, it's game. And people forget that if we would have won that game, Dre Greenlaw's, bro, like he's a Niner lore because he would have had plays that basically sealed both games. Dre Greenlaw should have had plays that sealed both of those games in 2019.
Yeah.
But
to be honest, we ran into a perfect storm that night. Like we almost needed to lose. We had to.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing.
I remember Ronnie Lott talked about in '84 when the only loss that they had in Pittsburgh on that bullshit PI. I believe it was Pittsburgh. It was either Pittsburgh or Washington that we lost the only game in '84. And he said it re-energized and remotivated the team. I think that's what happened. And, sometimes you get a little full of yourself and it's, Sewell's going to be.
Too. They had to get it out of the way so that it wasn't hanging over them so much for the rest of the season.
Yeah, exactly. Because, I don't know if they've ever talked about it or anything, but you can't tell me the undefeated didn't have effect on New England.
Yeah. There's a lot of pressure with that.
There's a lot of pressure with that. And you know what? I bet you one of the biggest factors of them losing that Super Bowl was they came in with that undefeated season hanging over the head, which, by the way, is held by a division rival.
Yep.
Right? Versus the Giants came in and said, what do we have to lose? We lose the game, everybody expects us. But if we win, we shock the world. And I guarantee you that
game.
Oh, I can imagine. I remember that to the day.
We had a pick 'em where you have to put in $20, and you kept putting in $20 if you picked the correct team. Well, with that game, we were up to $4,700 or something like that between all of us. And everybody else was like, "Oh, we're gonna put our picks in. We're all just gonna pick New England, and we'll split it." When are you gonna put your pick in, Jason? "Oh, I'm away. I'm busy right now. I can't come by and put it in." I finally came by Friday night and I put it in. And I was like, "They're like, why would you do that?" My girlfriend at the time was pissed because I'm giving up worth $1,000.
Yeah.
She loved it though when I came home with almost $5,000.
Hey, it's one of those things that it's like that shot in basketball that your coach doesn't want to take, where you're like, oh no, and then when it goes in, you're like, yes. It was one of those, you're stupid, and then you walk home with the money, and you're like, baby, you're a genius. Don't ever do it again. Yeah, most definitely.
Like, Don't ever.
We're going to try to keep it live here during the first round. I'm anticipating a trade up. I don't
Someone's
think we're
got
done.
to.
Yeah, I don't think we're done. I think the Niners are going to try to trade up in the first round. And you could say whatever we feel that our biggest need is. And if there's a player that we have, our top player slides, i.e. like Reuben Foster in 2017, where it was just like, well, if we're willing to take him at 3 and he keeps sliding at some point you're going to like be like, well, hey, you know. So if it's
Why
J.C.
not?
Horn and J.C. Horn slides to, I don't know, New England,
Yeah,
and they're interested in a certain quarterback, I'm not saying it's going to happen.
I'm
I'm not
against
even
that one for the
necessarily
simple
saying it
fact
won't.
that
Yes,
who starts? You gonna
George
put
Hart,
Rosen out there
exactly.
for a
I
year?
think I was about to say, yeah, exactly. When look, it's been you can't. It's even about you can't go to these players who you clearly went to this offseason and said, look, you like it here, you know the culture. Let's run it back, try to
Yeah.
win a championship this year, and then you hit the big time next year. And then you can't go to those players and now say we're going to take a step backwards. You can't do that. So I'm going on record right now is I want Jimmy to start. Now,
Yeah.
fine, if he sneaks it up, he gets injured, cool. Well, obviously we're gonna go to Trey Lance. That just needs to happen, you know. But unless legitly Josh Rosen gives us a better chance to win, which honestly, if Trey Lance doesn't step on that football field to give us a better chance to win than Josh Rosen, I have a little bit of concern, just a little bit.
I mean, you could almost say that he would just simply off of his base talent, but I still want him to sit
Yeah,
and sit and learn for a year, honestly.
yeah, of course. Yeah, it's look. Said he got a quarterback too early can damage them.
Yeah.
It can happen. We need to look. We need to not kid gloves. We don't need to treat him like a baby. But it's look. You can't expect a veteran quarterback to come in year one and learn the Kyle Shanahan offense to the type of level that we need him to know it.
No.
You can't
But
expect that to happen. And that's a veteran quarterback, let alone a rookie quarterback. You can't. That's way too much pressure. That's way too much pressure. We also want to let all the faithful know. I forgot to say this in the beginning of the show. Please hop on, anybody. If you want to go ahead and jump on, I got the invite link and everything, and we can go ahead and matter of fact, I'll go ahead and paste it in the comments right now. But please join us. We want to hear from the faithful. We want to hear what you have to say. This could be one of the biggest draft picks in team history. This might be the best first round pick we make in team history, minus the go. Maybe even better just because it's a quarterback. But Jason, you're muted.
yeah, you
Okay,
got
there
this
you
for a
go.
few minutes?
Yeah. I got it.
Okay, I'll be right back.
But yeah, so cool. Denver's on the clock right now at 9. J.C. Horn was selected by the Panthers at number 8. So we have this, but yeah, I'm fired up. It can't have gone better. I think that we need to, like I was saying earlier, we need to slow our roll. I know I just said this could be the best pick in team history, but we need to breathe. Take a step back and be patient. I know that if Jimmy comes out and struggles this year, there's going to be cries of, you know, Trey Lance needs to start, bring him out, and there are already going to be people that say that. And we need to caution him. He's not ready to go. I have no problem with it. It really there shouldn't be a problem with him not ready to start and take us to the Super Bowl week 1. That does or year 1. That doesn't mean he's a bust. It doesn't mean anything bad. It just simply is the truth. I mean, he's a rookie. He's 20 years old. Anybody is not going to be ready to start. So we are going to put out our graphics right now. Our Trey Lance graphic. I'm so happy. I made one for all 3 of them, but oh shit, I think I already downloaded it. Maybe not. But let us know, faithful. How you feeling? We want to hear from you. I have to paste it in the comments. Where are we at? Denver still has like 4:08 left on the clock. Everybody's blowing up my phone. Yes, it's a relief. I feel relief. Look, I didn't expect to react like that. I ain't gonna lie. Um, it it was a shock. I really did think that I was about to have to cuss out Kyle Shanahan. I believed it was between Trey Lance and Mac Jones. I wanted Justin Fields, and I thought maybe that we would have gotten surprised. But alas, hey, I don't think it's the wrong choice. I think it's not even that Justin Fields would be the right choice. Like I said, look, my instant reaction was my best reaction. Right? I was just like, "Thank Jesus, it's not Mac Jones." Like I was just happy that Kyle Shanahan. I was so pumped up not only because I think Trey Lance is going to be Joe Montana or anything. It was that you know I was excited because it showed the evolution of Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan saw that the NFL is changing. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank you. Sorry, man.
But
You know
yeah,
I gotta get up early, so I have to get a few things done because who knows? I'm usually
yeah.
asleep by now.
No. Anytime you need to go, bro. Just
Oh, I know,
give me the
but
signal
like I said,
and you can
I'm
go.
trying to say this
But
because, like you said, there's got to be a trade. We're waiting for that trade back in.
yeah, and also like you said, you're like, look, I'm gonna watch it anyway. Might as well be chopping it up, on NFR, right? But
Yep.
so, like I was saying, is that I think that I was just telling the faithful right now. Let's temper our expectations. I think that we need to be patient. I think but the reason why I feel that I was pumped up and thank God it wasn't Mac Jones was because it showed the evolution of Kyle Shanahan. It showed that he can evolve.
Yeah.
And that Kirk Cousins is his ideal quarterback. Like, and it almost I'm not saying that he did it like this, but it's almost like Shanahan saying, "I'm going to take the mobile quarterback just to snub my nose at you and give you the finger real quick." I want Kirk Cousins. Boom, and that's why I'm fired up. And so, like, I think
Mac Jones looks high as a kite. Just add that to the list of things with him. He looks high.
You know what? Where does Mac Jones go? Does Mac Jones go in the first round?
He will.
New
The
England?
question is where.
The farthest I think he goes is New England.
I wouldn't be surprised if he gets picked now by the Broncos, honestly.
No, okay, yeah.
I don't think they believe
Fields,
in Locke.
So who goes first, Justin Fields or Mac Jones?
If you go off talent, it has to be Fields.
It has to be Fields. So let me see. He's according to whatever. He's the fourth ranked prospect available right now. So they think to seem to they seem to think that it's going to be a quarterback or showing all quarterback type of stuff. But
because you got Dallas coming up and the Giants. I mean, do you really trust what Daniel Jones from the Giants? I wouldn't. I would take Jones. Or I would take Mac or Fields over him because Jones really hasn't worked out.
I would take Fields. Yeah, I would definitely take Fields. Look, if I'm a team that's looking for a quarterback, I'm taking Justin Fields right now. So Denver, cool. I'm taking Justin Fields because
Denver's pretty young right now.
And also, do you look at it this way? Does Justin Fields remind you of John Elway a little bit? Maybe not exactly, but you see what I'm saying? Mobile quarterback, strong arm, right? So if you're John Elway, do you want a pocket passer or do you want a quarterback that's more like you? I would think you would want a
Elway has
quarterback
not
more
had
like
luck
you.
with quarterbacks
He is not.
since
It's kind of
the only good
funny.
quarterback he had was Manning, and he didn't draft him, obviously.
So, the funniest thing I've always thought was that I talked to a Niner one time. I don't remember who it was, and I asked him. I was like, "Why doesn't?" Okay, the pick's coming in.
Good, not a quarterback.
Patrick Surtain.
Yep.
They're not happy. Denver had like the least energetic. Dude, their fan base was not fired up. Dude, you saw the
Yeah,
paper. We were going nuts.
but he's one of the best. He's probably the top 5 players in the draft, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look, it's like getting corners is like getting it's like getting, I want to say like getting socks because that's offensive linemen. Offensive linemen are like getting socks for Christmas. It's not necessarily your favorite present, but you need, you know, um, it's getting corners is it's not something that's not sexy. It's not a quarterback. It's not a wide receiver, but you know, you need them. And guess what? I bet you if you, I bet you the Atlanta Falcons are happy they drafted Dion, right? I don't see too many Falcon fans complaining that they had Deion Sanders playing for them. I'm not saying Patrick Surtain Jr. is going to be,
No, but you're making a point with that, though.
But yeah, exactly. Raise your hand as a faithful. Go ahead and put a comment in your field if you're mad that the Niners took Frank Gore with the first pick in the 3rd round. I doubt we're going to get any comments on that. Like, you don't care. Like,
yeah, but to be fair,
so,
when we did draft him and he already had knee injuries, you're thinking, oh, what kind of crap is this bullshit?
Look, I will be the first faithful to admit that I said, why did we draft Patrick Willis? And I said, why did we draft Frank Gore after coming off with 2 knee surgeries? And Nick Bosa, which you could say is yet to be determined. But let's be real. It is a mistake. God would have took Quentin Williams. And I know Kim's going to put it in the comments because she always does. That's why I said it. But I'm the first to admit. So it's, sometimes you're wrong. But hindsight, of course. But you could always say Jerry Rice is the first pick of the 1985 draft if you have to redo it over again. Joe Montana is probably the first pick of the 1979 draft. History is riddled with that. But I'm the first person.
When we did that one show when you were talking about how many number 1 draft picks or whatever it was. I forget exactly how you did it. We have won Super Bowl. There's what, like 4?
Yeah. It was 8. It was 8 first. It was 8, I believe. First 8 first overall picks. Or it was 8 first rounders. I'll pull up the document right now. But it was some crazy amount that you.
I'm sorry, let's throw Mac Jones again. He just looks high as a kite.
It's to the point where most quarterbacks that get drafted don't pan out.
Well, they go to shitty teams. Honestly. They go to shitty teams.
And to me, that's one of the greatest points I think John Minch made. And I think it's why Niner fans are so fired up to take a quarterback and to take, Trey Lance specifically, is that historically teams as good as the Niners don't draft 3rd overall. We don't get the 3rd overall pick.
No.
And so obviously without sacrificing a lot of resources of the future. So that's a valid point. And so like we did it. I brought it up earlier in the season, in the off season, where I said that I believe it was only like 3 or 4 starters that were starters in Super Bowl 54 that are no longer on the team. So that tells you that the majority of the starters that we have on this roster were freaking in the Super Bowl. All right. And you
I'm
say,
not
well, then
saying
why was the
revenge
team not
tour,
in the
but
playoffs?
they want
Well,
revenge.
and it's like, well, why would you say that success didn't continue? Well, those same players, the players that I listed off, that were the starters in the Super Bowl, were some of the same majority of the same players that missed time. Richard Sherman, Jimmy Garoppolo, Raheem Mostert, so on and so on and so forth. That's why we were in the playoffs. That's why you didn't see us competing for a Super Bowl.
At least
And
until week
so,
14, when we finally
yeah,
were eliminated. We were right there.
exactly. But hey, and so really, what kept my faith going was get Jimmy back, get Kittle Corn and Jimmy back, get Kittle and you know what I'm saying? And that was the
Yeah.
focus. Get them back, and then we make our run. That was obviously Eddie Faithful that kept playoff hopes alive last year. That was our only shot, obviously. And so it's that same team, those same starters that were the Super Bowl 54 are going to be on we would presume would be, knock on wood, are going to be on the field come September. Right. And then now we add one of the best prospects at quarterback in the draft. The future of the team looks the brightest that it's, possibly ever looked since, we had Steve Young and Jeff Garcia on the same team. Or really, since realistic, call Alex Smith and Colin Kaepernick.
Do you think Jimmy makes it past this season? I think he makes it through this season. Do you think he makes it past this? You do? Deep playoff run. Jimmy throws 40 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. We get to the NFC Championship game. Do you get rid of Jimmy?
No. I don't. Because why? Give me a reason.
Oh, I don't think you do either. I'm just saying, that's if something like that was to come up, that's going to be rough.
Give me a reason that you don't say, hey, we go into the offseason, right? Now, if a team wants to give us if the team wants to say, hey, those picks that you traded for Trey Lance, we'll get back to you for Jimmy Garoppolo. Cool, awesome. And he looks ready. Awesome, cool. But to me, Trey Lance has got to prove that he's better than Jimmy Garoppolo. Now, that might be decided simply by health, that Jimmy's not healthy enough. But to use your example of 40 touchdowns, to use your, example, I understand extreme and you're taking it to the extreme, but a 40 touchdowns, 15 in there, he's obviously going to have to play all 17 games to get to that amount, I would assume. Right? So
he just catches fire like
if
none
you
other.
tell me that if you tell me Jimmy's hurt again and missing games and Trey Lance has to play, especially if he's not ready, or Josh Rosen, or whatever the situation is, fine, okay, cool, we'll ship Jimmy out. But if he's healthy and he takes us to the NFC Championship game, right, after, a season like that, to use your example, an MVP season, then, an MVP type of season. Not saying he would win the MVP, but 40 touchdowns, 15 picks, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like,
you're good.
Come on, that's MVP type season. So, if you're telling me that he has an MVP type of season, Trey Lance has to prove to me that he's better than that. Yeah. Because why would you that makes the team worse? Why would you make a decision that makes the team worse? That's not better. That's not the best move for the franchise. They clearly said in their press
money.
They clearly go ahead.
Money.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. So if you tell me that after a season like that Jimmy at probably around 27, I would have to look up the exact cap number. Here, I'll look it up right now. But if you tell me Jimmy at the amount of money he is if you're telling me that's preventing Nick Bosa or whatever player that we're going into, if you're telling me that's preventing us from signing those players, okay, you got a conversation. But
that'd be the only reason why I would do it.
Yeah. Okay, so at 2020, he's yearly cash details. He has a 27 million cap hit. So if you're telling me that 27 million could go to Nick Bosa or Fred Warner, is going to George Kittle, etc. The pick is in for the Eagles.
Yep.
10th pick for the Cardinals. Oh,
I almost thought they were going to pick up one of the quarterbacks
with the Eagles. Why would the Devontae Smith? I like that.
I think there's the rumors that they're not sold on Hurts as a starter.
Huh. But so to get back to my point, if you're moving on from Jimmy Garoppolo, obviously for Trey Lance, we would assume Trey Lance to me has to prove that that he's better than Jimmy Garoppolo. Fine, 27 million. If you could say, look, if you're telling me, hey, 27 million that can go to players, these 2, 3, 4 players, and we'll take the ups and downs from Trey Lance because we'll have Bosa and these players and et cetera, et cetera. Okay, I can see that argument. But to me, if you're taking Trey Lance over Jimmy Garoppolo, Trey Lance to me has to prove to Kyle Shanahan that he's better than Jimmy Garoppolo. If that's day one of training camp, cool, awesome. If that's 2022, if that's do we re-sign Jimmy, whatever situation, cool. When it comes, it comes. It better come, or there's going to be hell to pay. But
what if he still has that roster bonus for next year too? Because we have what? June 1st?
Yeah. 800,000.
Well, no, but does not the bonus, I'm sorry, the guarantee. Does he still have the guarantee next year if
guarantee.
If you're on the roster by this date, you'll get
no, he has no more guarantee. He has no more hold on, let me see if it doesn't say that. Hold on. Contract notes. No, it doesn't look like he has any. Yeah, he has no more guarantees left in his contract. So it's strictly basically about, it can't be about money. I mean, ultimately that's what rules the world, fine. But to me, if you're, it's just, you have to prove to me. It's just, I can't sign off on seeing a quarterback that got us to the Super Bowl without seeing if the options that we have available aren't, better. Like I said, I believe it was our yearly end of the season, review show. I clearly said Jimmy Garoppolo can no longer be a slam dunk best quarterback on the roster.
No.
Now, has Trey Lance proven anything? No. We're going to assume that Jimmy Garoppolo is no longer going to be the clear-cut best quarterback in the Super Bowl come week whatever next year. I think we can all be comfortable with that. And I think that's the best thing for the Niners. I'm fired up for that. Let's do it. I want what's best for this franchise long term. Trust and believe that.
Oh, the Bears just traded up.
Oh, they did?
They're going quarterback. They have to go quarterback.
They have to. It has to be Justin Fields. You can't roll with Andy Dalton. Fine, Andy Dalton for a year.
I'd take Nick
cool.
Foles over Andy Dalton. I don't know why I would roll with Foles over Dalton. Hey, Pete, you're on the clock.
Yeah, right.
My roommate's a Bears fan.
Oh yeah.
Where's Justin Fields' family?
Justin Fields'
Wait,
family.
wait till it shows it on TV. They're just gone. They done disappeared. Oh, there they come.
Huh. Huh. Okay, I'm getting the draft images ready. I'm very proud of to be able to do this now. It's happened. So we know, and I think that's anything that a faithful can ask right now is we now know who it is. It was been a
I
long
feel relieved.
process.
All that
I do
tension
too.
and everything.
I remember saying that. I remember saying when you were gone, I was like, that's one of the first things I said when you left. I was like, you know what? I feel relief. Like it's just, it's wow. We just know. And now the fun part begins. Now let's go. Look, let's not lie. Let's not be ashamed. Let's do this. Let's say it. Let's go win us a Super Bowl. Right? Let's not be ashamed. Let's not hide away from the standard, as Eric Davis would say. What's the standard of this franchise? Look at our trophy case, bro. Last time I checked, there's 5 in there. And not many franchises have those. At least those, right? So, shut up. Check your trophy game. What do I always say? Check your trophy game, bro. So, let's not
It's like when
hide
the
from the
12-year-olds
standard.
up here, they're like, well, you guys haven't won a Super Bowl in like 20 years. I'm like, your one is starting to get a little dusty over there too. So stop talking.
Oh my. Let's. So it's NFC West Trash Talk Division or something, or page or something, or Facebook group.
I ain't gonna lie, I
But I
can't
always
stand that
get in
page.
there, and I'm like, look, let's not act like you're the Chiefs or something, right? Who could at least say, hey, look, Super Bowl 54, we won that, and we're in the Super Bowl the next year. You feel me?
Still relevant when it
2013,
comes to Super Bowl talk.
yeah, 2013, you were champions in 2013. That's starting
here
to
we
be
go.
pretty close to 10 years, bro. You feel me? Like, that's starting to be pretty close to a decade. So, your trophy ain't looking quite as shiny. You feel me? And last time so fine. So you really use recency. So to me, I don't understand their inability to do math. 5 is greater than 1. Like, I don't, bro. Like our dynasty changed the NFL. Y'all can't even call yourselves a dynasty. You won one championship. Like, what is an oak? Like, my team went 5-0. Like, no other team has gone 5-0. Like, check. Anyway, let's not go
The
down
Bears are
that
about to
road.
select too.
Oh yeah, okay, good. Perfect distraction.
I'm waiting for my roommate to start crying.
Oh, I was almost crying when Trey Lance. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I was like, I'm gonna cry. I was like, oh my god, it's beautiful.
He's from he's a big Bears fan, Chicago. He's born there, but So.
I know that's the one thing about Chicago, bro. They love their Bears, bro. I remember I was there when the Bears were there in 2018.
There we
and
go.
There's this Bear fan.
Hey, Pete,
Nice.
congrats.
There you go. That's awesome. Most of these players I'm not going to pretend to know, but yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. That's you know what? Tell your roommate they got a hell of a quarterback, I believe.
Oh,
I believe that. Obviously, I hope it's not true. Oh, okay. So apparently Kim has let us know that we weren't paying attention because the Eagles traded up too. I think we said that. We talked about that.
yeah, we got on that one.
I'm talking Niner football. I'm not even look. I'm waiting to hear the San Francisco 49ers have traded up and they select. That's what I'm waiting to hear. And if it
You
doesn't
think the
happen,
Chargers
then
trade
cool.
up to get Stafford's replacement, kind of like what we're doing with Lance? Because Stafford's in the same boat. He don't have that much time left.
He doesn't. Look. This is a very the Yams are going in. The Yams have always been very win now.
Yeah,
and worry about the future later. And cool, that fires up your fan base every offseason. But how many championships does it deliver?
My bad. It's the Chargers, not the Rams. I'm dumb.
Yeah.
I still think of the Chargers as San Diego. That's why. When I see LA, I think Rams.
Yeah,
so I'm always gonna think of them as San Diego.
It just doesn't feel right? But hey, the generation, there's a generation of football fans that feel weird saying Indy, versus Baltimore. So
with the Chargers,
it's very.
Maybe they'll pick up Micah Parsons.
I haven't even, this is. Look, I'm gonna tell all the listeners. I'm just gonna keep it straight hunted. If you're looking for the best, draft analyst for every pick, this ain't the show for you. For me, at least for me, I'm strictly Niner focused right now. So, I am paying attention though. I'll see who the picks.
I am trying to keep overall a little bit of overall NFL news in this too.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Of course, if something happens, we're gonna talk about it. Justin Fields is talking, but of course, if something happens, we're going to talk about it. That's just it's a bad football form.
Dallas is going to grab J.C. Horn.
Oh, they did. Oh no, J.C. Horn went to.
Oh no, that's right. Yeah, he went to.
Oh, the picks are coming up right
Caleb
now,
Farley.
so I'll just read the picks. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and read the picks. Falcons took Kyle Pitts. That's nice for the Falcons. Bengals took Jamar Chase. The Dolphins took Jalen Waddle. Lions took Penny Sewell. I gotta talk to the homie that's a Lions fan. Panthers took J.C. Horn. That's who took him. The Panthers took J.C. Horn.
Maybe they go Farley out of Virginia Tech. They need a corner.
Yeah. So Eagles took Devontae Smith. Bears just took Justin Fields. Who went at 9? Who did the Broncos take?
Who did they take? Shit.
We'll look at it again. All right.
Didn't they take one of the wide receivers out of Alabama?
Yeah, they did. That's right. There you go. Right. Oh, shows you how much I'm paying attention, right? Oh, I'm wonderful. What a host. This is why your boy didn't go live for, almost 3 hours. Damn.
Yeah, we have it for them.
We're only on pick 11.
I know, man. I'm like, look, I want to say this first round, but I can already feel myself like.
You want to just go ahead and end it, bruh? And then I could always just go live. We could always just go live later if we trade back up.
We can do that.
Yeah, all right then. So thank everybody for listening. We're going to go ahead and cut it this. And if there is any more breaking Niner news, we'll go ahead live again and we'll share the links out to Facebook and everything. Appreciate everybody listening to the show. Straight to the Bay. Bang, bang.
Told you.
Niner gang.
Told you.
Let's get it. Jason, you were right. Let's do it, baby.
Good stuff, brother.
Faith, love, and happiness. Go Niners.